Tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed
former Pirate captain and catcher Travis Watkins. Do you feel any effects these days from catching all those innings, Travis?
Believe it or not, I don't yet. Which
Good.
I'm lucky because I caught for a long time, 20 years of my life, starting at a young age, and so far my knees are holding up, my hips are holding up, my ankles are holding up pretty good. So I'm sure I'll feel it later in life, but right now I'm pretty good.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Ty?
Hi.
Ty?
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
He's a cool cat, man.
I got a little taco meat on my chest.
I grabbed a handful of lunch meat and shoved it down my teammate's throat.
I'm a former long snapper.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
At the Burlington... I have no idea what the just happened.
Did not flub at all. Send it in.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome in to a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250, 930, also online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch the show and be a part of the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. Got a lot of guests coming up. If you have questions or comments for our guests or us, you can get them in now on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the program. Coming up on today's show, we got Patrick Mason. He is back from Charlottesville. We'll talk about his trip to the Charlottesville Regional and East Carolina's baseball season coming to an end. We'll do one last look. We did over-unders before the season started and predictions, so we'll see how Patrick did on his ECU baseball over-unders for 2023, tie a bow on this season, and start to look ahead. Who's coming back for the Pirates? What's it going to look like in 2024 for Cliff Godwin's team? We'll do that with P-Mace coming up at 4 o'clock. We'll also talk some Pirate football with the head man. Mike Houston will join us coming up at 5 o'clock inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll look at the offseason, the opener against Michigan, and how things are going with this East Carolina football program. A lot of folks to replace on that offensive side. We'll talk about that and a lot more. If you got a question for Coach Houston, you can get that in on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And Ken Watlington, WNCT Channel 9, will join us coming up at around 5:30 to talk about what's going on in the world of sports. Our Braves, winners over the Mets last night. So we'll talk about that and more coming up with Ken Watlington at 5:30. We got Shirley Rhodes here. We got Chandler Honeycutt. We got the big dog Glenn Griffin. Couple of new interns hanging out. And Coach Mack is back. And Coach Mack is going to be back quite a bit because we got a big announcement regarding Mack McCarthy, but he joins us here today on Pirate Radio Live. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
We'll find something to talk about, right?
I think there's plenty to talk about. And Coach Mack has plenty of opinions, so we'll have fun with him today, and we'll have fun with him every Tuesday at 3 o'clock moving forward. Coach Mack going to be a regular right here on Pirate Radio Live, so we are excited about that, to have him here. And Coach, you've been around here a lot, roasting mostly Troy, but myself and Jonathan and others at times. But we've had a good relationship with you and looking forward to talking with you every week here on the show. I am too. I do a regular radio show in Chattanooga. I've done it for, I don't know, maybe 40 years or something like that, something crazy. And I've done as many as 4 days a week. Now I do 1 day a week, and it changes. The day changes due to golf or whatever. But usually in the fall and winter, it's on Thursday nights. In the summertime, Tuesday, so the golfers can have that first day of the tournament, looking forward to the weekends, that kind of thing. And we got golf news, obviously. But I love doing the radio, and we might even get talked into doing a little podcast along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of Coach Mack coming up. That is a fun thing because, of course, he was former ECU basketball coach, but big into NASCAR, big into, I guess, golf now. You follow that and pretty much everything. So we'll talk with Coach. He has a lot of opinions I disagree with when it comes to the BCS, among other things. But we'll have a lot of fun. You got a question, and he's got a ton of stories, too. So we'll enjoy that. You got a question for Coach Mack, you can get that in on Facebook, YouTube. Jamie on YouTube is disappointed that Brandon's Superstitious Beers is not in the intro yet, Shirley. So there's a request for you from Jamie, which you just updated the intro last week, but he's ready for another intro.
Yes, I will add that when I have time because, I don't just do the open for PRL. And
that's not the only thing you do?
It's not the only thing I do all day. And plus, I was working on my own podcast. So, you know what? You can hold on to it. But just to tide you over.
Why so contentious?
Superstitious beers.
We got to get that into the intro.
I am going to add it to the intro. Just hold your horses.
Coach, are you aware of the phenomenon of watching people do things on YouTube? It's a big thing with the kids, like watching other people play video games.
No.
That's a thing?
No.
It's also a thing to watch people watch sporting events, and we have taken advantage of that here at Pirate Radio. We have a good crew that hangs out with us and watches on YouTube and Facebook when we have watch parties, and we did that the other night, and apparently Brandon Manning, former Pirate, had some Superstitious beers in the refrigerator, and former Pirate football player Bryce Williams took those beers unknowingly.
Oh.
And you know that messes up the mojo, right?
Oh yeah, I'm big into mojo and superstitions. That's part of every coach's life.
So how about we'll start there. What were your superstitions? Did you have game day superstitions, things you did before every game?
I did. I had some things, like there was a routine to going home and taking a nap and having a bowl of soup and, heading out at the right time and that kind of thing. But yeah, coaches want to control everything. And we were kind of superstitious when it came to hotels on the road. If we lost at a place, then the next year we would not be at that hotel. Mm-hmm. The problem is when you go to Cullowhee, North Carolina, there aren't a lot of choices.
When you play the Catamounts, they got you in one spot and one spot only. Well, that's interesting. What kind of soup? Did you mix up the soups? Patrick Mason is a soup connoisseur. We'll talk to him later in the show. What kind of soup did you have?
It varied, but anything from just vegetable beef to, we tried to avoid chili, but might even throw some oyster stew in there.
All right, good deal. That's an interesting pregame meal for a coach before games. That is interesting. And you mentioned your radio work in Chattanooga, so you coached there a long time ago. So when you said 40 years, were you being serious? Like, when did you start doing that?
Yeah, I started doing it in 2000. We're going to narrow this thing down. It's not 40 years.
Yeah.
Although I've been on the show the show has been there.
So were you on as a coach being interviewed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But actually on my own, sort of like this segment kind of thing, I started that in like 2001 or 2.
Okay.
Something
so
like
over
that.
20 years.
Yeah, over 20 years for my own show, and for several years did 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday, and then even when I got back into coaching, I kept my 1 night a week.
We've got Eric says Coach Mack needs to be appointed the official watch-along chaperone to oversee all the shenanigans. It would be fun to have Coach in here to watch a basketball game. We did it for the women's AAC championship and their tournament game.
Yeah.
So, Coach, maybe later on this calendar year we can get you in to watch a game with us.
I'll be glad to give it a try. That would be a different experience for me. Coach Kim's my neighbor. I see her all the time, and I'd love to sit in on that. And I don't know Coach Schwartz yet, but I hear great things about him. I've met his staff, and clearly he's off to a pretty good start. And it sounds like they've had a decent recruiting haul too.
Yeah, and we saw a picture yesterday, Chandler Honeycutt. I've introduced you, so you can speak now. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Good to have Coach in here today.
It is fantastic. We saw a picture yesterday of the team getting together, kind of a welcome back to Greenville, welcome to Greenville meal. Yeah. And it's funny, Coach. These days, I looked at all the faces like, okay, he's still here, because you don't know. You're worried about the portal, you're worried about everything. But it was good to see familiar faces: R.J. Felton, Brandon Johnson, Ezra
was there,
Jaden Walker, everybody. A lot of guys from last year and the newcomers, Pettiford, the transfers. So that is something year to year now. God, you coaches have to worry about it, but people on the outside are kind of seeing, okay, who are we gonna? Okay, we got a starting lineup at least.
Yeah, if you can talk somebody into staying, that's just like signing somebody.
Pretty much.
It's amazing, and all this stuff started, the transfer portal and NIL and conference expansion. All of it started when the BCS went away.
Coach Mack, BCS proponent, says that life was easier then. Life was better. The economy was better.
It was.
The sky was clear. There wasn't smoke in the sky.
Bluer.
It was bluer. But, Coach, when you are at a Chattanooga of ECU at East Carolina, there are teams ahead of you in the pecking order, so to speak. Were you worried though about getting poached back in those days? How much did it happen?
Well, it didn't happen as much because in basketball and football, and I think hockey, you had to sit out a year. So that was always a pretty big deterrent. And had it not been for that, I think the way I coached, we would have lost the entire team every single year. I'm pretty sure, because I am sure that all my players would have liked to have left at one point in time or another. But we were able to stick around pretty good. But even we were on the other end of things too. I made a list for a newspaper article the other day, and the top 20 players we had in 12 years at Chattanooga, 18 of them were transfers anyway. They were either junior college or four-year transfers. Right. But, of course, the junior college transfers became eligible immediately, but the four-year guys all sat out a year. But I'd be interested in how it's changed in a sport like baseball that's always had immediate eligibility on transfer. Because that's one thing a lot of folks don't understand. All the sports other than football and basketball already had immediate eligibility through the transfer.
I was unaware of that. And thinking about ECU and some of their success during your time, I was a big James Legan fan, and we've talked to him since his time at ECU and had a good career in Australia and a funny guy to talk to. But he was a transfer, I believe, coming into the program. You think about Akeem Richmond, ECU's all-time best shooter, was a transfer from Rhode Island. You had Miguel Paul and Maurice Kemp on that team. Miguel from Missouri. I want to say Maurice was a JUCO guy. So even at ECU, a lot of our success has been transfer guys. And unfortunately, our best guys that we had as high school guys left as transfers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard, and that's another thing is when you bring a transfer in, the opportunity for him to leave is not as strong either. So
right.
Again, that's why we did, despite the fact that we had a lot of transfers at Chattanooga, we had a lot of continuity because we got those guys later in their career, and they weren't going to make another move.
Yeah, they were not stuck. That's a negative term, but they were there to finish it out.
They were stuck.
All right, they were stuck. Coach Mack had them locked in, ready to go. Mack McCarthy joining us. You got a question, comment for Coach? We got a lot to talk about going on currently in the world of sports. And also, Coach, just want to use your vast knowledge, your Rolodex in your brain of all the great athletes, coaches, buttholes, everybody you've come across in your time, because just like any walk of life, you got all that in the world of sports too, right?
Yeah, and we've talked about it a lot. I've been lucky enough to be around some of the real characters in the game, like a Terrell Owens or a Charles Barkley or some of these kind of guys. But yeah, I've been around it long enough to have interacted with somebody or at least somebody who knows somebody. So the thing you and Jeff Charles used to do, where you threw out an old name, we could definitely try that sometime going forward.
Jeff, he upset me one time because I would bring up a person. He'd tell me a story about him, and my favorite announcer growing up in football was Frank Herzog, voice of the Redskins. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. And I love listening to him, Sonny, and Sam with my dad. and just grew up. That was like my childhood. And I said, Jeff, you know Frank Herzog? And Jeff never said this about anybody. He said, yeah, that guy was a real jerk, Cliff. And I was like, oh, no, don't tell me that. And he was like, yeah, I met him once. He was just a real Class A jerk. And I was like, well, dang.
I've never heard Jeff say that
I know.
about anybody.
That shocked
Even me.
He loved you.
To my face, anyway.
That coach, Mack McCarthy's a real piece of work. No, but that was like the one guy Jeff didn't like. And if Jeff didn't like you, there was something wrong with you.
That's no question. No question.
No longer a Frank Herzog fan, I guess. But, man, we still miss the voice around these parts. We were talking about it. We'll have a great interview coming up Friday with Carl Lester Crumpler, as he and Marcus Crandall were in here yesterday morning. We had an hour-long chat, and Crump talked about his relationship with the voice. And, Coach, we're still missing him. Just a huge part of here at Pirate Radio, but surely East Carolina, and it'll never be the same. This football season is going to be weird without him on the call.
It really will. I just it hadn't really sunk in on some level. Somebody asked me about who was going to be calling basketball this year, and it just struck me again. But I've known Jeff since his Furman days, Virginia Tech days, and finally got to work with him here, and we had a lot of good times traveling together and telling tales about back in the day and that kind of thing. And we know he was the voice of the program, but in a lot of ways he was the face of the program too. Others came and went, but he was the consistent persona for the athletic department.
He loved those trips. So we talked about it recently before his passing, because it was basketball season. He loved going on the trips and getting to know the players, obviously talking to the coaches and stuff, but that was he said his favorite part of the job, just getting to know everybody as people rather than just players. And very, very sorely missed here, no doubt, and everybody listening as well. Jamie, boy, you really want to start here with Mack McCarthy? He says, what does he think about the NIL? Well, there's the rest of the hour. You want to dive into that one, Coach?
Well, yeah, I can tell you, first of all, it's a mess, and we've got to do something to, I don't know that we can get the toothpaste back in the tube at this point, but we have to have some kind of guardrails, some kind of guidelines that we're all going to go by right now. And we predicted this. We talked about it. We talked about it with you on this show. We predicted the chaos that was going to ensue because everybody's going to do what's best for their institution, their program, or whatever. And now you've got all these states passing all these rules, passing all these laws, and it's different for every state. And that would be a problem no matter what. But when the states are different in the same league, now that's another problem, not to mention how it's going to look nationally. And we were talking in the hallway with Jonathan and everybody before the show. I mean, you got a big contingent of folks going to D.C. today. You got collectives from Washington, Tennessee, Clemson, 4 or 5 schools. Collectives are going to meet with representatives and senators. And then you got the SEC group that's going up there with Sankey and Saban and a couple of university presidents, a couple ADs in the SEC. But again, everybody's got their own agenda. They want the law to be passed to benefit them, and that's where we're lost. We don't have anybody speaking for the good of the game, for the good of college sports in general. Sankey's doing what he thinks is best for the SEC.
Right, everybody's got their self-interest,
and it even bit him a little bit. He wanted a 9-game schedule because they're going to 16 teams. He didn't get it passed. The coaches voted to keep the 8-game schedule. So he'd be kind of hypocritical if he went against that because he did what's best for the league. They're doing what's best for their school, and
the players are trying to do what's best for themselves. It's the trickle down. Everybody's looking out for number one.
But we are in pay for play, and that's what they wanted to avoid. They wanted to avoid the players being employees. But I don't see that being the end game at this point, no matter which way it goes.
Let me ask you this. Do you Sam Hennett was my guy. We still talk to him. I love Sam. He had 30 points against NC State in the win.
Had a birthday last week.
Happy birthday, Sam. So he had 30 points on a Saturday night. Monday, I want to go to the student store, UBE, and get a Sam Hennett jersey, a T-shirt with his number on it and name. And he should get a percentage from that. Do you like that aspect of the NIL? Like what it's meant to be if everybody didn't bend the rules on it.
Oh, it was absolutely necessary and long overdue that they could benefit from their name, image, and likeness. But it wasn't supposed to be an inducement. That's all it is now. You're just paying somebody to come to your school.
Yep.
And that's not what it was supposed to be at all. It was supposed to be people on your roster earning based on their name, image, and likeness once they got there and performed. It wasn't supposed to be for you to come out of high school and them to offer you $1 million to come be the play-by-play guy.
And you're right. And we went from 100 years of nothing to all of a sudden everything. Like there was no kind of baby steps with it.
Well, we did take some baby steps, but nobody paid attention. We did the Needy Student Fund. Then we did the Alston situation where the academic money was unlimited. Then we did cost of attendance in there somewhere, where that's anywhere from $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, depending on where you go to school. We did some of those things, but the NCAA did a crap job of letting everybody know what they were doing for these young people. And the fact that, we don't even need to mention the scholarship and the nutrition support and the strength and conditioning and all the training, and there was so much being done for these people. And again, name, image, and likeness, fine. Inducements, paying them to play, that's a whole different deal.
Well, I know the answer to this already, Coach, but why wouldn't a coach like a Mike Houston come out and say, I know that this school is offering money to my player to get them to transfer? Why don't they start turning in names? Why don't they start rolling on people?
Yeah, there's. That's a longer show.
But they might stop it. But then, here my thought is that, and not Coach Houston in particular, but any coach, that you just don't want people looking at everything you got going on too. Would be my response to that. I don't know. Is that? Why don't we have Coach A calling out Coach B on this stuff?
I'm going to tell you a good quick story about you don't want somebody looking at the program a little closer. When Coach Dye, big name here, when he became the AD at Auburn, he called Sonny Smith, who was my boss, in, and myself, because Sonny didn't know anything about budgets or those kind of things. So he called us in and said, tell me what you need to be competitive in the SEC. And I was ready. I had the list of, whether it be charter flights or academic support or, whatever we needed, I had a list of things. So Coach Dye pondered it a little bit. And he said, okay. He said, I'll have to clean this up, but he said, we're going to do all that. We'll do all that. He said, but you got to do one thing for me. What do you think it was?
Beat Alabama?
Chandler? No idea.
Go to the tournament? You got to win something.
No. He said, not nearly this polite. He said, you need to stay the hell out of the newspaper, because every time you're in the newspaper, it hurts my recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
And that was his request.
Yeah.
And it struck me, of all the things he could say, all the things I expected him to say, that was not the one. But again, he did not want a lot of scrutiny on the program overall.
You got to be under the radar, as much off the radar.
Yeah, whether it's the media scrutiny or whether it's the NCAA scrutiny or whatever.
Yeah. Was that before you brought in Charles Barkley? Or after? I don't know how much.
That may have been a reaction to Charles Barkley.
Exactly. The only man to coach Charles Barkley and Terrell Owens. How is he still functioning? Mack McCarthy.
Yeah, I have some.
That drive you crazy, right?
I have some tics because of those.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More to go. If you got more questions for Coach Mack, you can get those in. We'll talk about. I want to see, Coach, I haven't dove into this too much, but what exactly is this one umbrella, the Live Tour, PGA World Tour, all forming? What does it mean moving forward? What does it mean for our guy, Harold Varner III? We'll dive into some of that and more on Pirate Radio Live. We roll on hour one on a Wednesday after this.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyriq coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Hey, superfans! Marvel Superhero Day is coming to Oriole Park at Camden Yards on Saturday, June 10th, when the O's play the Kansas City Royals at 4:05. Be one of the first 25,000 fans 15 and over at the game to receive an exclusive Adley Rutschman bobblehead inspired by Captain America. Come out to experience the Marvel Universe at Oriole Park and arrive early for Early Bird Saturdays. Gates open 2 hours before first pitch with happy hour, live music, and more. Buy tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing.
This is Mike Hoggart with Viva Electric.
This is Mark McGlawhorn, Roland Black Heating and Cooling.
We have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. Contact us at callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Call us today to help with your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Go Pirates.
Pitt County Schools proudly congratulates its class of 2023. We salute our graduates for successfully completing one of life's many journeys, especially one that began in very challenging times. Please join us in celebrating the accomplishments of this class and encouraging their continued growth as our leaders of the future, locally, regionally, nationally, and globally. Cherish yesterday, live for today, and reach for tomorrow.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla. It's the best idea ever.
Oh, come on. The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla was my idea. I did that. Don't play yourself.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla.
Genius.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
The Sidebar is the place to be this summer in downtown Greenville. Have a date night or get the family together for dinner starting at 5:30 Tuesday through Saturday. Or take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food around for lunch Thursday through Saturday from 11:30 to 2:30. And on Sundays, enjoy a delicious summer brunch from 11 to 2. Visit the Sidebar today, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House. To keep up with their ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville. Go Pirates!
This is Dale Murphy, two-time National League MVP and number 3 with the Atlanta Braves. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Drive a little and save a lot at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, plus offers service to all makes and models in a state-of-the-art facility. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington, or you can go online at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
All right, thanks, Shirley Rhodes. Got Chan Man. Shirley, you told me to remember to do something. So while I have it on the brain, I'll do it today.
Okay.
On the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dub Buck. Carson Wisenhunt on the mound tonight, you said making his AA debut?
Yes, he got promoted just a few days ago to the AA Richmond Spiders, and he will actually make his...
that doesn't sound right.
What did I say?
Richmond Spiders?
That's no.
Flying Squirrels.
Thank you. I said, you know what? When I was talking to you earlier, I said Richmond Spiders. I did it again. It's the Richmond Flying Squirrels. But he is making his pitching debut tonight at 6:35. Will be first pitch.
You probably don't like the Richmond Spiders very much, do you?
No, I didn't when I was at VCU.
Yeah. The Flying Squirrels, great logo. I got to get that hat at some point. So that is weird that Wisenhunt is with the Giants organization.
That's correct.
Yeah, they got a team in Richmond, but I don't know. Well, that's way down on the things we need to fix list.
Yeah,
Minor league baseball locations.
They used to be the Richmond Braves. Yeah,
back in the
forever.
That's right.
They still play at the Diamond, although it's undergone many renovations. Thank goodness.
All right, there you go. Richmond Flying Squirrels expert Mack McCarthy joining us here in studio today. Coach, got some questions for you rolling in on YouTube. This one, conference tournaments. Jamie says most coaches, it seems like, are not fans of conference tournaments. I don't know if that's true or not. He says at least at the larger conferences. What is your opinion of conference tournaments?
I think they've outlived their usefulness. They've created a lot of excitement through the years, and it's still fun to watch those smaller leagues where only one team can get in. Although I think the smaller leagues are really the ones that are getting hurt by the conference tournaments. They don't always send their best representative. When I was at Chattanooga, we won 9 championships in 12 years, but we only won 5 conference tournaments. So we only went to the NCAA only 5 times. But because of that, the best representative didn't go, and now you don't have the best chance to win and to advance and to create more money. So I think it's a losing proposition for the smaller tournaments. Now the bigger conference tournaments, it's negative for the ones that are already in. You don't have anything to gain really, right. Maybe seeding, but it's still good for those those bubble teams. We've worn that out, but for those bubble teams to go to the tournament and get a win or two against teams that are already in the tournament may not be highly motivated. It's again, the rich get richer in those situations.
No, that's a good point, and you would think the better determining figure on if your team is the best or not is an entire 30 games instead of 3 or 4. Would you make that change if you were in charge? Regular season champion goes to the tournament?
I would. And the other thing about most of the smaller conference tournaments, they're not money makers. You see a lot of them with empty stands. Now, there are a few exceptions.
The ones on the home courts are packed to the gills, but, that's one fan base kind of taken over.
And that's not that, that's great for TV and great for the higher seed. Right. So there are some pluses, but of course, it's not a true tournament kind of atmosphere either.
Right. All right. Good question, good answer from Coach Mack. We got TO questions rolling in, of course. Does Terrell Owens get a bad rap, or is his rap deserved? What do you think, Coach?
I don't know. He did some outrageous stuff with popcorn and Sharpie
that was fun. That was fine.
But I didn't think any of that was really bad. He's always been a good teammate. He's always been a great player. I don't know what the real complaint about it is unless he's not on your team.
Right.
I know a lot of Cowboy fans who didn't like him but loved him when he played for them. Certainly one of the best receivers of all time by any stretch of the imagination, by any measurement that you want to have, and still like in incredible shape. If you follow it all on social media, the guy is just a freak of nature, and I know all the good that he does, and he's diversified. He's gone and done a bunch of things. He's been a reality TV guy. He's got his own winery. He's got a candle factory. He's got all kind of money making things going on.
So you think
think it had a happy ending, the career, the life of T.O.? Like he's doing good now?
I think history will treat him pretty well.
Okay. I was not a fan because I didn't really care for the Niners, but then, of course, Cowboys, Eagles, I hate those teams, so was never a fan. I did like... I liked his brashness and stuff because that makes it fun for me. I want my team to sack the quarterback and get in his face. I know it's taunting and maybe it's not great, but I like those things as a fan. It gets me excited. So that I love me some me and all that stuff. Posing at the Star. And getting hit by George Teague, that was hilarious to me. So I found that, and really I gained a lot of respect for him when he played on the broke leg in the Super Bowl, and you had McNabb like throwing up in the huddle, and T.O.'s on half a leg playing.
And like you mentioned, the outrageous things that he did were almost always fun kind of things. They were non-serious kind of things.
He's dancing with the pom-poms with the cheerleaders. Like that was funny.
And certainly you can't fault his effort ever.
Yeah, he gave it. So, good question. Coach Mack has coached some interesting folks over the years, T.O. being one of those. He also has, did you console Terrell? That's a weird question, Jamie. When he had his press conference, when he was talking about, that's my quarterback. That's not fair. That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
He was a very emotional guy, I guess, fair to say.
He is. And it's Terrell, not Terrell.
Did I say Terrell?
You've alternated back and forth.
Man, okay, my bad. Terrell. Thank you for getting that right. Did you make that mistake ever?
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I called him a lot worse, too.
But, and by the way, for folks wondering, why did Coach Mack coach T.O.? Because he played basketball at Chattanooga. Like, how good, if he'd have focused just on basketball, could he have been a pro?
As long as he's not listening to this, no.
Yeah, no. He made the right call.
He thinks he should have been.
Right.
I spoke. I was one of the speakers at his induction into the Hall of Fame.
And at the school?
No, the NFL Hall.
At the NFL Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Canton? All right.
And he didn't go to Canton. He did it at Chattanooga.
Oh, okay.
He did a separate one.
Yeah.
He did it separately. He didn't go to Canton because he thought it was all politicized.
That's right.
But my opening line was, if you had just listened to me and focused on basketball, all this wouldn't have been necessary.
There you go. He'd have just been another guy, as they say.
He was a great team member. He really made us better. I don't think he ever played more than 10 minutes a game or something like that, but he competed so hard in practice, and especially in the weight room. He would embarrass you, and he could really guard you, but he wasn't exactly gifted offensively.
Yeah, he found his niche, and that was being an all-pro, one of the great wide receivers in NFL history. Mack McCarthy joining us, Coach Mack, as we look at the headlines. Came out yesterday that the Live Tour, the PGA Tour, the World Tour will all be under one umbrella now. First of all, there's a lot. I see Rory McIlroy coming out and says he, quote, feels like a sacrificial lamb, still hates the Live Tour. You've got guys on the other side, Bryson DeChambeau, saying this is great. So, first of all, what is this going to look like moving forward? Are we still going to have separate tournaments? I know they're all going to meet in the majors and play, and that's a main thing in this, but where are we with all this right now?
Yeah, and I don't know all the details. I was trying to watch some of it before I came on the show. They had Monahan, who is the evil empire today, in a lot of people's eyes, but he was trying to explain what it would look like going forward. It sounds like it won't look much different than it does right now, other than there'll be more back and forth and more interaction for the players from that perspective. But there were a couple things that came to mind. Number one, a lot of this was driven by the fact that we were going to be besieged with lawsuits forever. There was going to be no end to both sides suing each other. So they had to come to some kind of agreement. The second thing is that the PGA was being a little bit exposed, for hypocrisy, because they took the high road. They took the stand that this is blood money, whether it's, the writer who was killed or whether it was the 9/11 connections with the Saudis. They took the high road. But then when you start looking a little deeper into some of their big sponsors, they all have Saudi ties too. And then the ultimate thing, and we'll say this 1,000 times, the answer is money. What's the question? because they took profit over principle, which I hate that, and I hate for guys like McElroy, Tiger, Spieth, the guys that were loyal. They're the only losers in this deal.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they
had their cake and eat it too, and everything. Now
they did. From Varner to Mickelson to Norman to whoever, and and glad for those guys that they'll be back in the PGA. But you got to hold your nose when you do this. I don't follow pro sports a ton. I do follow golf, do follow tennis, and follow the rest of it during playoffs and that kind of thing. But I'm going to have trouble watching the run-of-the-mill tournament. Now, when it gets to the Masters and the British Open and the U.S. Open, it'll be hard to pass those up. And one thing I'll say this, all the crap that's going on in college athletics, when you watch the game, it's still great.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same thing in golf.
I say that quite a bit when there's a lot of griping about, and you bring up conference expansion before the show, and I'm like, oh God, do we have to talk about? I just hate that topic. Part of it is because it's never good for East Carolina. The other part is it's just I hate that schools and teams get propped up because they join a league today. Like they were nothing yesterday.
Or they joined a league 100 years ago.
That too. There's that part of it too. That just because you were almost born into it, like royalty in England or whatever, like you're just because you were born into this, it means you're something. It doesn't. But it bothers me. That part of it bothers me. But these topics like this, when they come up, I say I just like enjoying Saturdays, like turning on the TV and there's games on all day long. I love doing the pregame show for ECU football. If it was just that, it would still be awesome, but it's not just that. There's so much other stuff around it.
Yeah, when I'm watching the games, I'm not thinking of transfer portal, NIL, conference expansion, pay for play, unionization, all the lawsuits. I'm not thinking about those things, and unfortunately or fortunately, it'll be the same way with the golf situation going forward. People are gonna file that away, and it won't affect them after a while. There'll be protests, and there'll be some people who permanently reject it. Like I said, I've tried to put a lot of thought into it, and it'd be hard for me to pass up watching the majors.
Yeah. And why is it that you are not as connected to pro sports as pro team sports? Sounds like you're into the individuals, but why not as you once were?
I don't know. It was easier to follow pro sports back in the day when there were 10 NFL teams or 10 NBA teams. You knew every player on every team, and
we're not wearing leather helmets anymore, Coach. Come on.
No, I understand that, and certainly all the sports have improved in a lot of different ways. But it was easier when free agency came and people were able to change rosters, and it lost a little bit of the luster. But the other part of that is I've never worked anywhere but on college campuses. I've only worked since the day I left college. I never left a college campus to some degree, whether it be in TV or radio or administration or coaching. The first 30 of those 50 years or so were coaching, but I just love the college atmosphere, and I know it's not as pure as the driven snow, and and the amateurism is certainly in question. Maybe that'll change for me too, but I just enjoy that a whole lot better than I do the pro.
One thing about pro sports, we like to, like you said, get to know the players on every team, and part of that is players being able to keep, or teams being able to keep the players they draft. I always thought there should be something, and maybe there are minor details in this, but something where, like in the NFL, if you draft a guy and you're going to re-sign him, you get some kind of salary cap bonus or whatever where you can keep your guy and pay him what he wants, and you get rewarded for drafting basically, and you get to keep your nucleus together. There's like billions of dollars in the NFL, and I understand why they have a salary cap, but I feel like there would be more interest if fans knew who was on every team, and to do that, you reward good drafting and are able to keep your guys and pay them what they want and still kind of remain in the salary cap. You know what I'm saying? Like you get a hometown discount basically to keep your guy, but he's still
making the money he wants to make.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought they had that.
There's probably something like that, but I just hate when we can only afford to keep one of our good draft picks. Something like that.
I do think it's limited. I don't think it's every.
I would like to expand that.
Yeah,
I don't. Would it make a difference? I don't know, but there is something to, like when I was a kid. Like you said, I knew. And this was part video games, this was part baseball cards, but knew everybody's lineup, knew everybody's roster, and now I couldn't name 5 guys on every MLB team other than the Braves, pretty much.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion before too. Is that how much of the popularity of pro sports is tied directly to fantasy sports?
Quite a bit.
And gambling in general.
Now, I do separate it. I'm not one of those guys that, wants my fantasy team to win more than my favorite team, but it is a huge part of it. And I like fantasy sports, Coach, because part of my childhood when the Redskins got bad after their Super Bowl runs, by week 10 I was done. Like, what am I watching for now? My team's out of it. Now I've got my own team to at least pay attention to. So it does serve a purpose. But man, it's out of control. Gambling is out of control, and I guess I'm part of the problem if I'm saying that, because I love talking fantasy and I love talking gambling here on this sports show.
And I think the North Carolina legislature just passed the sports gambling today.
Chandler, we won't have to drive up to Virginia to make our bets anymore.
Gas money equals save.
That's right. Coach, we used to go every day after work, and we'd go right across the state line and hold our phones out, and we could mobily bet in Virginia. Now we can stay home.
Yeah.
Literally, you could do that?
You could, yeah.
You could, Coach.
We joke about it, but we won't have to drive to Virginia anymore to place our
haul every day.
Bets. Yeah, it was tough.
But your point though, back to your previous question about the conference tournaments. So that's another argument for the conference tournaments, is that you've still got a chance even if you suck the whole season.
We had somebody talk about when Tulane knocked ECU out of the baseball tournament. I saw somebody say, if you go win 18 games and lose 40, you have no right to be in a regional. This is bogus. And I immediately said I disagree with that. I love that. I love the underdog story and all that. Now, a lot of these baseball tournaments, Coach, go different formats, and like one conference, the CAA maybe only takes 6 teams, so they keep out some of the bottom teams where a Tulane wouldn't even have a shot. So I like the conference tournaments because I do like the underdog, the Cinderellas and stuff. I do totally get your point that it's not fair that a team wins 27 games in the regular season and is left home because they're not one of the big boys. So nothing's perfect. We live in an imperfect world, Coach.
I hadn't noticed that.
Coach Mack has fans. Destry says, love having Coach Mack on the show. He's been around and can tell us what's really up.
I'll be glad to try.
And we'll take a break. Here's a question. Eric says, has Coach Mack been able to keep in touch with former assistant Larry Epperly? His son Tyler was a groomsman in my wedding. He's a real cool cat, man. You got that, Shirley?
He's a cool cat, man.
Thank you. Coach Epperly, you kept up with him at all?
I do. He's been coaching high school basketball in Charlotte and finally retired. His son-in-law and daughter have a home building company that he's been, contributing to, and Tyler has been in coaching until just recently. Took a job in the private business kind of side. They're doing well. They all live just across the border from Charlotte.
Good stuff. Let's take a break. We'll come back. One more segment with Coach Mack McCarthy here. Coach Mack going to join us every Tuesday at 3:00 moving forward. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking sports, life. We'll find out what he's watching on TV, all that, when we return. Pirate Radio Live, back with you after this.
The Beach Tavern Bar and Grill has been the place to be for over 50 years. BT's is the best local sports bar in the heart of Atlantic Beach. Located on West Fort Macon Road across from Pacific, BT's has daily food specials, a late night menu, cold beer, pool, darts, and live entertainment for everyone to enjoy. Make it a summer to remember at the Beach Tavern Bar and Grill. Follow BT's on Facebook and Instagram for all the daily specials and events. BT's, the place for fun in Atlantic Beach this summer.
Do
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Some things just go together. That's why Bojangles and Appalachian Mountain Brewery have partnered to brew the tasty beverage we didn't know we've been waiting for. Bojangles Hard Sweet Tea. Bojangles Hard Sweet Tea is perfect for entertaining, enjoying on vacation, tailgating, and any occasion when you want to bring the fun. It's always been Bo time, and now it's brew time. Pick up Bojangles Hard Sweet Tea today at your favorite local retailer. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing, supporting the Pirate Nation since 1989.
Hey, superfans! Marvel Superhero Day is coming to Oriole Park at Camden Yards on Saturday, June 10th, when the O's play the Kansas City Royals at 4:05. Be one of the first 25,000 fans 15 and over at the game to receive an exclusive Adley Rutschman bobblehead inspired by Captain America. Come out to experience the Marvel Universe at Oriole Park and arrive early for Early Bird Saturdays. Gates open 2 hours before first pitch with happy hour, live music, and more. Buy tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro. We are the professional office systems people.
Hi, this is Frank Lee with Appliances Superstore, and I'm inviting you to our grand opening on Wednesday, June 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. Come help us celebrate with light refreshments, and we'll show you how easy it is buying appliances. We started with a truck, a trailer, and a storage unit. Today we have 12,000 square feet full of appliances. We're located right off 264 behind the new DMV. We hope to see you June 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. Remember, we save customers money every day at the Appliances Superstore.
This is Touchdown Tony Collins, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio, perfect for some outdoor dining. There's something for everyone every weeknight, including sports trivia with our very own Clip Brock. AJ's has live music every Friday and Saturday with no cover and brunch every Sunday. Make today an AJ's Day. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. A few more minutes to go with Coach Mack McCarthy as he will join us moving forward every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, talking sports, big picture, and otherwise. And we'll get through the summer with and I want to talk about some old stories you got too, Coach. Let's see. Got another question coming in. We've got a diehard Indiana fan tuned in. Like he said, he's also a diehard ECU fan. I don't know how that happens, but he said Coach Mack coached in the Bob Knight era. What is your opinion of Bob Knight?
He was a great coach. He had incredible teams. He probably overstayed his welcome a little bit in terms of how he saw the game and how he did things. But no question about the kind of X and O guy he was, and the kind of motivator that he was too. He motivated a whole lot of different characters, and we played against this team. I coached a team at Virginia Tech, and we were really good. We were back in the top 20 days. We were an independent. We were really, really good. Beat Florida State. We beat Oregon with Ron Lee and Greg Ballard, who none of the listeners have ever heard of, but they were 2 All-Americans. We beat them by like 30. And the next night we played Indiana in the team that won every game, the team that went whatever and Benson. I'm drawing a blank now. Wilkerson, May, Quinn Buckner, and Abernathy was the starting 5. All of them All-Americans. They beat us 101-74, but it could have been 101-24 if they had wanted it to be. They could have beat us any number that you want. Of course, nobody beat them anyway. But great story. His legacy is a little bit soiled, but he is responsible for most of that himself. He's been incredibly nice to me on multiple occasions. The guy I worked for, the guy I got my first job for, Don DeVoe, was a Bobby Knight assistant, and they played together at Ohio State, and he worked with him at Army and worked back at Ohio State. So I did have some access there and spoken at numerous clinics with him. And again, he's always been extremely nice to me. But he kind of led, self-inflicted all the wounds that he had.
You mentioned he was a great motivator. One time during a press conference, he brought a whip on the stage to show his motive. So he. I've heard good, I've heard bad stories when it comes to people that know Bob Knight over the years. Mentioned Larry Epperly a moment ago, and one of my favorite assistants, the guy I talked to a lot on Pirate Radio back in the day, was Darryl LeBerry, because I remembered him as a player, and when he joined the staff, I was like, hey, okay, I know this guy, and got to know him a little bit. Glad to see him coaching again. He'll be with Ron Hunter at Tulane, and how about Tulane basketball coach? Ron Hunter's kind of going there. They've gone from, this is an easy win, hopefully on ECU schedule, to a really good team.
Yeah, Ron's done a good job everywhere he's been, whether at IUPUI, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Georgia State, where he and Darryl coached before. And now I'm glad to see Darryl back in the college game. Darryl LeBerry is a really good man, a really good basketball coach, and enjoyed having him on my staff. We stay in touch. Got a great family, and college basketball is better with Darryl LeBerry coaching.
Yeah, I would like that move by the Green Wave and Coach Ron Hunter. We are about running out of time here, Coach. We'll do this first. So you brought up the Super Regionals coming up, and you had 9 of the top 16 advancing. Well, what did you made that note? What do you think of that number?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I just thought it would be more, and 7 folks that weren't in that group advanced in some really interesting, Southern Miss goes to Auburn and wins that regional, and Auburn shouldn't have been hosted anyway, but the chair committee was their AD, so, we can talk about politics and sports all we want, but Tennessee then has to go to Southern Miss. Southern Miss ranked a little bit higher. Southern Miss Stadium actually seats more than the Tennessee Stadium, but I think they've been very selective about who they're selling tickets to, and the Tennessee fans are not happy about that because they travel pretty well. But Tennessee upset last year in the Supers by Notre Dame. This year, maybe they'll avenge that. Southern Miss hosted a Super Regional last year, and they were favored and got upset by Ole Miss. It'll be interesting to see how they handle things. The Southern Miss coach is retiring after 14 years, and I'm sure he'd like to go out by going to Omaha.
That's going to be a fun one to watch, similar to Texas. Big Brand, Big Orange going to East Carolina last year in a Super Regional. So I'll be rooting for Southern Miss, our former Conference USA member and foe back in the day. Coach, before we let you go, what are we watching on TV these days?
What's on the docket?
I'm a huge NASCAR guy.
Yeah.
And I watch everything that moves. The Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, the Cup Series. They go to Sonoma this week, where my guy is pretty darn good, a guy named Kevin Harvick.
There's been a lot of fighting going on these last few weeks, haven't there?
There's been a little fighting going on,
fist
and
thrown,
some suspensions going on, and Kyle Busch, the another evil Empire guy, has won 3 races already this season, which I hate that.
When you go, what's your next race you're going to?
I think maybe Richmond late in June.
Okay, all right, good deal. No TV shows? What are you watching during the week?
Oh yeah, I stream a lot of stuff.
What you got? Give me a recommendation.
Well, the one that I just hated that everybody else liked, Succession. I've never seen a TV show with not one person with one redeeming quality.
It is an unlikable bunch.
Yeah, there's nobody on the show that you could like.
I like the show. I could see why I can't relate to it. It's a bunch of billionaires acting like jerks, and it's nothing I come across in everyday life. But I did enjoy the drama of it. I guess you did. You just couldn't find anything to grasp onto.
I hung in there, and at the end, I know I wasted many hours.
There were no heroes. There were nobody to root for. You're right about that. So, all right. Anything next on the list? What are you and the wife watching?
Just finished one that's really good. Don't even know what it's on, but and now I'm reading the book. It's called The Last Thing He Told Me.
That's on Apple TV.
Is it?
And I've seen a couple episodes.
It's really good.
Okay.
And the book is even better. I'm halfway through the book.
Jennifer Garner, I believe, was on the show.
She is on the show.
All right. Good deal. I'll finish watching that so we can talk about it at our book club. I'm not going to read it, but I'll watch it. I'm a millennial or whatever. Coach, had fun with you this hour, man, and we'll do it every Tuesday at 3 o'clock moving forward.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man. Thank you very much. Coach Mack McCarthy joining us here on Pirate Radio Live. When we return, we'll talk to Wednesday regular Patrick Mason back from Charlottesville. We'll recap the regional, the season, and look ahead 2024 ECU baseball. We got Coach Mike Houston coming up later on, so we'll talk a little Pirate football as well. Suit Boy Patrick Mason joins us after this.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
We're here for the booty. Party?
Pirate Water is here. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find pirate water in a location near you.
We're going plankton!
Pirate Water is here. 21 and older, please drink responsibly.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting pirates.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offers over 50 years of experience.
To get started, call me, Joanne Weir, at 531-1148.
Joanne Weir, NMLS 75974. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender, NMLS 208516.
Hey Wood Ducks fans, be sure to purchase your single game tickets online at woodducksbaseball.com. Have a big group? No problem. Book your group tickets by calling our front office at Granger Stadium. This year's schedule features the return of daily themes including Tribute Tuesday, Winning and Wind Down Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Mother Earth Friday, Pepsi Saturday, and Dogs and Dogs Day. Make sure to follow the Down East Wood Ducks on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook so you don't miss anything. We hope to see you out at Granger Stadium all season long. Let's go Woodies!
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear is your one-stop shop to help promote your business and always provide superior customer service. No matter what apparel you need for your team or customers, University Sportswear can make it happen. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. University Sportswear, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Go Pirates!
Upgrade your comfort right now during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Summer in Motion event. Need to relax, recline, and unwind? Now at Bostic Sugg, enjoy savings on all our top furniture brands. Plus, for a limited time, when you buy any recliner, lift chair, or reclining sofa or sectional, you'll get a second reclining furniture item at 40% off. With over 400 items in stock, plus special savings on custom orders, relaxation has never been so easy. The Summer in Motion event on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Thinking about takeout tonight? Well, Familia can make everything real easy for you with a great selection of Italian food and more. Visit FamiliaNC.com to see the full menu featuring pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts. Place your order online or call 689-6330 and Familia will have your order ready in their convenient drive-thru window for pickup. Finish up a busy day with a great dinner for yourself or your family with Familia. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, here on a Wednesday. Things getting soupy here in the Pirate Radio studios as Patrick Mason joins us. Hello, Patrick.
What's up, man?
Kind of soupy, overcast weather we're having with the smoke rolling in. It reminds me of a thick chowder.
Yeah, I actually had a broccoli cheese soup for lunch, believe it or not.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We've got some interns in the house today. We've got Connor and we've got
Joey.
I was thinking, like on Wednesdays, one week we should have Connor or Joey go out and just travel Greenville and try to find Patrick Mason the best soup in town.
Ooh, I like that.
And we don't tell them where to go. We don't tell them anything. We're just like, look, you guys will give you some cash. Bring us back the best soup you can find. They're on board.
That's the way to do it too. Just have no direction. You got to go find it, and you can find some gems that way, I'm sure.
Right.
By the way, I went to Familia last night, and that was the live read that Shirley just read. But I got the buffalo chicken pizza, which is the pizza of the week, by the way, for $12.
So did I. This is not a bit. I had the same thing.
Delicious. But when I got there and sat at the bar to wait for my pizza, the guy was like, "Are you getting the soup?" And I said,
soup. What guy?
Some random guy.
The soup. Give us some details.
This guy's name was John. I met him. His name was John.
Did he work there?
Was he was a patron. He was sitting there drinking a beer, drinking a Rolling Rock, and was like, "Hey, are you getting the soup?" I was like, "No, I'm getting the pizza of the week." And he was like, "You got to try the soup. The soup's really good." I think it was like tortellini, but it made me think of Patrick Mason last night.
So you didn't get the soup?
No, I had my mind set on the pizza.
Interesting.
And you're not living that soup life.
You're not.
Nah.
Yeah. Great story, though.
Yeah.
Had me on the edge of my seat.
I almost ordered something.
I didn't know.
Well, you brought up soup. We had Patrick Mason on.
It had a twist ending. It didn't have a happy ending per se, but I thought you were going to try the soup and maybe even have some for us.
It's a cliffhanger.
All right. Fair
My
enough.
mind was set on the buffalo chicken pizza.
It was good. $12 for a large.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat that. All right, Patrick, we will talk some Pirate baseball and Pirate football during this hour. And if folks have questions, they can get those in. We got some Coach Mack fans. That is very good to see. And Coach Mack will be joining us Tuesdays at 3 o'clock moving forward. P. Mace joins us on Wednesdays. And William says, I finally got to meet Mason and Iggy. I don't know what this name is. Some other name. Mason and another guy this past weekend. Said you were a nice fella.
Yeah, I saw him on the concourse. I'm pretty sure if that's the same fellow we're talking about. But yeah, met some Pirate Radio fans out there and some P. Mason fans.
Dude, that was really awkward hearing you call yourself that. Was it awkward to you for you to say it?
It was. It didn't want to come out naturally,
No,
but it did.
You kind of stuttered.
Yeah.
So you got P. Mace fans out there now?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
There's not too many, but they're floating around.
But they're passionate.
Yes, very passionate group for sure.
That's
our hallmark. That's the calling card.
That's great to hear. All right, so I guess we'll recap the regional. We'll recap the season. I have your over-unders here.
Ooh, yeah, I'd like to see how that went.
We'll go down your list and see how you did back in February. But Patrick, man, a lot of good. Beating down Oklahoma twice was really fun to watch.
It was really good. Just they outplayed them. I think the time coming in, everyone was worried about Oklahoma's speed and just the way they can run the bases and turn some innings into big innings with the speed. But that didn't happen at all. Justin Wilcoxon shut down whatever run game they had, and ECU just kind of hit the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, it was great to see the bats get going and put them away in both games. And then you had 1.5 classics with Virginia, really 2 classics. I mean, they were great games. The Saturday game was awesome, and Garrett Saylor was coming off his best performance of his Pirate career, and he goes out there and spins another gem for the guys.
He did, and I guess we're talking about pitching. I thought Zach Root, man, in that second game was just lights out, and especially for a freshman in that moment against one of the arguably best lineups in the country, just to go out and allow 1 run. I mean, like you said, it was basically 2 classics. I mean, 1-run games for 15, 16 innings of those 2. So it was a really good showing, I think.
I keep going back to it. Zach Root, the 1 run that scored on him was a guy he struck out.
Yeah,
I mean, life isn't fair.
Right, he had to get 4 outs in that inning, which is tough.
and the way Virginia hit, so they went into it. I believe I kept hearing the number 1 batting average team in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we held them down quite a bit. Now, you were live there. Myself and the people that were hanging out with us watching on Facebook and YouTube, when that ball was hit off of Ginn in the second game, I clapped. I was like, all right, we got our fly ball. Let's get out of here. And then I saw the outfielders going back, and it was a home run. And people who watched it on TV thought the same thing. Ellery said it was smacked. He knew it was a home run. How about you being there live?
The thing, it didn't sound like a home run. It was, because you can hear sounds, but the way, I guess that it didn't go as high as you thought. So I thought it might have been caught at the warning track, just the way that park kept everything in all weekend. But it did keep going. It just kept carrying. But yeah, I guess right off the bat, I didn't think it was gone immediately either.
That was a killer. The home run off Spivey did look like a home run.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. By the way, still talks about this. Was that an inside the park home run or a home run?
So it was reversed, or I guess the official scoring was a home run.
Yeah, okay.
A regular home run.
Now, at the time, was there an umpire going like this?
No, at the time, the umpire didn't make a signal, but looking back on it, I guess that's why Riley Johnson didn't get up.
That was my next question. Did Riley Johnson know it was a home run?
Yeah, he must have knew 100% it wasn't a home run, because he was sitting there at the base of the wall just looking around, and at first I thought, is he injured? Did he hurt something? Why isn't he going after this ball? But he must have saw it hit the...
And I never saw any of the other outfielders on the camera because it was kind of zoomed in on Riley. Did anybody else run for the ball?
No. So that's why the whole time I'm like, are are they giving up? Is Riley hurt?
Yeah,
like,
are they gonna walk off the field?
Yeah, it was weird. So like we got clarification in the post game press conference that it was the official scoring was reversed or changed, I guess, to a regular home run.
All right, question for Patrick. What do you think the ratio of Virginia fans to ECU fans was in their games?
Maybe like 75-25, 80-20. Like, to be honest with you, there was a ton of Virginia fans.
Yeah.
And
I liked that it was loud both ways. Virginia did something, you could hear the roar. ECU does something, you can hear it.
Right, and that's no knock against Pirate fans. I mean, there was honestly maybe 30 total Oklahoma fans. Like, Pirate fans definitely showed out pretty well, and they were loud. I mean, there was purple gold chants going on. There was clapping. The thing about like the Virginia fans, they're not like lively or rowdy throughout the game.
Right.
Like, they get super loud when something good happens for them, but it's not like you're at Clark LeClaire and everyone's on their feet screaming the whole time. So it was a different kind of atmosphere, but it was definitely pretty intense.
How would you summarize the 2023 ECU baseball season, Patrick?
I would summarize it as a really good season. They win 47 games, made another regional final for the fourth year in a row. I think it was a successful year for sure. I don't think there's any reason to hang your head too much. Like, I think this regional was properly seeded. The best team won, in my opinion. I mean, Virginia was really good. But yeah, I mean, to win 47 games and to do what you did, I think you got to be proud of that. And, there's not much else you can do.
Virginia is really good, and they have some really good players. That Teal guy is an absolute menace.
Yeah, everywhere I've seen, he's a top 5-6 player in the MLB draft coming up. I mean, that's a legit dude. And they had, the guy ahead of him, Jake Geloff, is another top 30 MLB talent.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, especially in the first inning, you have to essentially face both of them. I mean, that's so nerve-wracking to get through that part of the lineup. And I mean, Kyle Teal is running around. He's got more energy than I've ever seen in my life, and he's just a terrific hitter.
Maybe on some sort of stimulants. No guy has all that naturally. He is jumpy
for a catcher too.
I know.
You don't see that from catchers. Maybe like a second baseman or a center fielder, but that dude was all over the place, man. But he can sure hit, and the whole team can hit.
Yeah, I was impressed with them, and really, I was impressed with ECU's pitching, the way they held down Virginia for an entire game, and then for a lot of game two. And I'm not saying the pitching was the problem. I mean, ECU's got to score more runs against those teams. You got to score more than one to beat Virginia. And I actually said the other night that you need 7 runs, I think I said, maybe 8 to win that game. Virginia ends up scoring 8, so you needed 9 if you're East Carolina. But you look at the other tournaments going on, the games. We watched Squeeze play all weekend. I don't know how much you kept up with it being in Charlottesville, Patrick, but there were, 15, 20 runs scored in some games out there.
Yeah, a ton of runs everywhere. Yeah, every time like ESPN would do, a couple boxes, I'd see some stuff. But pitching was not, I guess, a strength for many teams in the regional round. Like, there was so much offense. So, yeah, like you said, I mean, for ECU to hold Virginia to, maybe 10-ish runs or whatever it was in a couple games, that you got to feel really good about that. But you do have to hit more. You can't just hope to. I mean, when you're winning 2-1, yeah, you're feeling good, like, hey, we got a chance, but you got to put up more than 2 runs.
All right, Patrick Mason joining us. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We will look back at Patrick's over-unders and how he did on that. We'll also take a peek into what 2024 may look like for ECU baseball. Talk a little Pirate football as well and more. If you got questions or comments, you can get those in Facebook and YouTube. More to go. Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Back with you after this.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, what can you do for people looking for a new vehicle in 2023?
We can show the people the number one selling car in the region, the Buick Encore, the Encore GX, the Envision, and the Buick Enclave. We've also got Cadillac dominating the market with the XT4, XT5, and XT6, and we continue to get new GMC Sierra trucks in daily. Please come see us, 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us, and I want to invite you to attend our Sea PG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winter.
Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead. The Rick House has a delicious new lunch menu. It's Chef K's Country Luncheon featuring the very best in country cooking Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. Plates are just $12.50 for hamburger steak with gravy, meatloaf, baked chicken, smoked ribs, brisket, and more. Our country sides include mac and cheese, collards, corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, southern greens, and much more. Plates are just $12.50. It's Chef K's Country Luncheon weekdays from 11 to 1 at the Rick House, 710 Red Banks Road in Greenville. Come get you some.
Take control of your health today with Arc Point Labs. Looking to lose weight? Have you tried everything possible and nothing is working? Sometimes a hormone imbalance can be the underlying cause to weight issues that dieting and exercise can't fix alone. A simple blood test at Arc Point Labs can provide insight to your weight loss goals. Visit arcpointlabs.com today or call 629-6228 to get an appointment. Arc Point Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
This is Brian Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. And, of course, the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. All you got to do is go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, click on that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click on the like button, too. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, looking at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dub Buck.
Dub Buck.
I'm seeing Nuggets minus 2.5 for Game 3 tonight. On the road in Miami. Miami does what they do. They win on the road. They've been winning, I think, Game 1 of every series on the road up to this point. They won Game 2 in Denver the other night to tie it at 1 game apiece. We'll be watching that one tonight at Sports Trivia at A.J. McMurphy's. We'll get underway at 8 o'clock. We'll have hoops on, baseball on. Patrick doesn't know if his White Sox will be on because they are in New York. Yeah. And you've got... I don't even know what it is. Where is the? There's a huge fire in Canada.
Yeah, I guess
what this is about.
Somewhere up in the Great White North.
And they sent it down here?
Yeah, just big old fans, I heard. They're just blowing it down to us. So
we should have built that wall that everybody was talking about.
I know it.
I would have kept the smoke out, right?
Yeah, walls are pretty good about keeping smoke out, as we know.
Superboy Patrick Mason here. Bo Bat says, I feel like we've talked about this. Did you watch Seinfeld?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Huge fan.
So you're you know all about Soup Nazi.
Yep.
Newman, man, now I can't. Jambalaya. He got the jambalaya.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bisque, I know, that Elaine wanted, I believe.
Yep.
That was a great episode.
It
One of the
was.
best. Check it out. Patrick had broccoli and cheese soup earlier if you're scoring at home. I have not had a good soup lately, Patrick, so maybe I'll dive into one. I might do what I did last time. There is a Walmart, the one that just sells the food near AJ's. Go by there after trivia, pick up that $3 lobster bisque.
It's a good move.
And enjoy it for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good move.
I think that's the plan.
Can't go wrong.
It's the plan for Thursday. How was the press box food in the Charlottesville Regional?
It was phenomenal hospitality. So it wasn't actually in the press box, but you had to go. It's like in left center field. But I mean, either way, they served 3 meals. They had breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just really good stuff.
Got that ACC money, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I show up and I'm like, man, they have this like portable clubhouse they set up. And just had food everywhere, and they had so much food. They had sandwiches a lot of time for lunch. They brought in barbecue Sunday night that was out of this world. I actually had seconds. It was pretty good. So really good food, good eating out there.
All right, so A+ for the Charlottesville Regional. William said Virginia fans and Carolina fans are similar.
How so?
I believe he's referring to just not very rowdy.
Yeah.
Very overly proper. Kind of just maybe boring, stale.
Yeah, I mean,
vanilla.
they were all sitting in their seats. Like, they were definitely using the seat for sure. But they did get super loud, though, when good things happen.
All right, there you go. All right, let's look at your over-unders. We did this. We'll do this in August for football. We got Mike Houston coming up later on in the show,
Yeah,
so we'll dive into some football. But we did it for baseball back in February. Patrick Mason, his over-unders for ECU baseball 2023. And the first one was over-under wins. And you went under 44.5.
Yeah, and they got 47. So
that's
they had
a
good
big
year.
X.
Yeah.
But
starting off the bat.
Close. Conference, over-under 17.5 wins. You went over.
What did they end up with?
18.
18.
That is a big check mark.
That's
got about one game.
Good line right there.
And I even put it lower because ECU getting 20 wins in conference play was just stupid.
Yeah.
And we felt like they had a down year in conference, and they went 18-6. Right. So that's the expectation.
Remember when everyone lost their minds when the Houston series or something? And
yeah, Wichita was a mind loser.
Yeah, it's like, guys.
They really had 2 bad weekends.
Right.
Because they lost 3 there, 5 there, and then the other one was on the day where they played 3 games.
Yep.
To Tulane. Those were the 6 losses.
Yeah, which it happens in baseball.
Houston did not lose a series all year and finished second behind East Carolina.
Yeah,
that tells you how many sweeps ECU had.
Right.
Home run leader, over under 17.5. Patrick Mason took the under, and Patrick Mason is correct. The home run leader this year was Josh Moylan. This says 15. I thought he had 16. But did he have one in a regional? No,
he didn't.
So 15, I guess, is the number.
Yeah.
So you were correct on that one. Home run numbers were, at least for one player, were down. They sprinkled some throughout the lineup. You had 3 guys double digits with Starman, Moylan, and Amac. You had a couple guys with 9, Wilcoxon and Jacob Jenkins Coward, who missed a little time. Carter Cunningham had 8. So you had some here and there, but no major big boppers this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of spread out, and JJC, I don't think he was himself, really, coming back from that injury, and Carter Cunningham really came on strong at the end of the year, last month and a half or so. He hit the crap out of the ball. Who led the team in hitting this year as far as getting enough at-bats to be eligible? The answer will be Carter Cunningham, 326 for the Pirates this year. Who will lead the team in home runs? You said Jacob Jenkins Cowart, incorrect. Without the injury, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But credit to Josh Moylan, too, and the power numbers he had for the Pirates this year. Lane Hoover, stolen bases, over under 14.5. You went under. Hoove on the year had 13 stolen bases.
Man,
I got to tell you,
that's some good book.
You're pretty good. I'm really good at setting these numbers.
Yeah, definitely on the money there.
You get an under for that. The team leader in stolen bases this year, Luke Nowak had 20. Jacob Starling, 19 of 20 on the base pass. If you're curious, that's how you say that word, right?
I think so.
Hoover could have gone over if he'd have got every base he attempted. He went 13 to 16.
Yeah. We actually asked Cliff about it during the season. He said they were just like an opportunistic stealing team. Like they didn't steal all the time, but in right situations they'd go. So that's why, Starling, really good percentage there.
I went way high on Jacob Jenkins Cowart's RBIs this year, set it at 69.5. You took the under. He had 44 on the year. You got that one easily. I went way too high. Although the leader on the team was Josh Moylan with 67, so he came close to that number.
And he set the conference record too, so for RBIs
in a single season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I thought he had 69.
He might. I think these numbers are missing
a game somewhere.
Missing 2 games, I believe, because it's got them at 46 and 18. So I'm missing a couple games here. So there you go. Had 69, which would still been a half RBI under my total.
Another good line.
I don't like that. He said the conference record, but should that be in conference games only? I guess not. I don't know.
I just think it's weird, too, when you're adding all the postseason stuff. And
stats are weird. Tune into our interview with Carlester Crumpler on Friday. He has the record for most rushing touchdowns for ECU career and has the single-season record tied. But he talked about the number of games they played back then and also said that, like, postseason counts now, and he didn't. So, numbers are funny. You can make a stat look however you want it to look.
You definitely can.
I do that a lot with sports trivia. Like I will pull, like this player has the most home runs on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
In
baseball is
division games.
Yeah. Night games against a lefty or something. And
all right. ECU wins leader for pitchers over under 9.5. You took the over and you are dead wrong. Now, part of this is the depth, I think, and you've got so many guys going from weekend to midweek, but also, winning games out of the bullpen, things like that. Trey Savage was tied with the leader, actually. Carter Spivey and Trey Savage 7 apiece. So you just didn't have that dominant kind of weekend 11-1 or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, and wins are just funky too.
That's a weird stat.
Yeah, if you get pulled in the 4th or something, you're not eligible, or it's just weird too. And relievers sometimes can have bloated win totals because they come in the tie game, and then if your team's good, you're going to get a win.
And I mean, like Josh Groves only had 6 decisions this year. He was 4-2.
Yeah, that's insane.
In 15 games.
Right.
Trey was 7-1. Danny Beal had 6 wins. Landon Ginn had 5 wins. Jake Hunter had 4 wins. So, yeah, that is a very misleading stat.
And those are all mostly relievers, those last 3 names, and they got the bulk of the wins.
So Garrett Saylor had 1 million appearances last year. I said his appearances this year at 36.5. You took the under, and he did not have to make that many appearances this year because of the depth of the bullpen. This has him at 21.
Maybe he has maybe another 1 or 2 in there.
And he also missed a couple of weeks with injury.
Yep,
he did
miss some time.
You took the over, so you missed on that one. But I think it went to show just how much you had other options this year.
For sure, it was a much different pitching look than last year.
I'm interested to see how this one went. So Josh Groves, oh my goodness, bookmaker does it again. Over under Josh Groves strikeouts 77.5. You went under. He had 79.
Ooh, that's right on the money there.
So just missed that one, Patrick. But Josh Groves, up and down year, kind of trended downwards, I guess, towards the end, but was pretty solid. I think MLB teams are going to like him because they look at him and say, what can he end up being? Yep. If he just figures out the walks, he's a fantastic pitcher.
Yeah, he looks the part. He looks like a dominating pitcher, and at times he was. I mean, his stuff plays really well. It's just, if he can cut down on some walks, then, he'll be really, really good.
All right, Patrick's worst over-under. He took Jacob Starling under 9.5 home runs. He finished with 10. That's
that's not
some of these. I mean, you're a non-believer. That hurts me personally.
You had him as the breakout pick of the year, right?
Yeah. 307, 10 home runs, 51 RBIs, some solid plays at second.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was the breakout Pirate, but he was up there.
He honestly though, especially this weekend, just because he was a righty bat, like you felt like every time he came up, it's like, all right, now is the time we're gonna do something, or now's the time ECU's gonna figure this out.
If he finished with 11 home runs, we could still be playing ball right now.
He almost had that one out.
Man,
warning track.
I knew it wasn't gone, but I was hopeful. I knew he got under it. But, man, he just missed it. Bases juiced.
In that moment, he was the perfect guy you wanted to.
With a lefty on the mound?
Yep, lefty on the mound. That was like all weekend. I'm like, all right, let's get to that righty. And, there he is.
All right, going into the year, we were hoping for and thinking of a Josh Moylan bounce-back season. I said his average, and this tells you how good he was this year. I put his average knowing he would be better at 275 over-under. Patrick, you went under. Okay, this was even more egregious.
Yeah, I did.
He ended up hitting 303 this season.
He was their best hitter, I think, all year.
And we're missing a couple of games, maybe even higher than that.
He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
All year.
Awesome. We knew Trey Savage was going to have a big year for the Pirates, set his win total at over under 5.5. You took the over. He finished with 7. And Cliff Godwin ejections, we set it at 1.5. He got one out of the way
pretty early on.
It was
Wilmington.
Yeah, what was that, like the second, third week of this? It was very early.
Wilmington, and then in Fayetteville, he got tossed after the game.
So he had at least 2. Do we know if he had any more?
I think 2 for sure.
Was he yapping this weekend?
Not
or
not
was
too
it
much.
Was it Clearwater?
Clearwater with the pitch clock situation.
Yeah. He was asking for one there.
There wasn't too many scuffles this weekend.
Yeah, but you got the over at 1.5. I think next year I'm going to bump that up to 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, that's, what is it, 60-plus games to get ejected twice? That sounds about right.
All right, so Patrick, let's see how you did overall. Let's see. For your wins, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Losses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 and 7. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great.
But not terrible. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
Hey, that's all that matters.
I feel pretty good.
That's all that matters.
I mean, the one I whiffed on for sure was Josh Moylan, but I'm totally cool with that because he was great all year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he just had a breakout season. A return to great. I don't want to say breakout, but I mean, he was their best hitter.
Great freshman year, bad sophomore year. He'll tell you, it wasn't what he wanted, and fantastic this year. Was that year good enough to get him gone from ECU baseball?
Like draft wise?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
I think so too.
I would say yes. He just, I mean, he has power. The thing, even when he was going bad last year, he'd take his walks. He has a phenomenal eye, and I think that's only going to improve at the pro level just with better umpiring. He'll get rewarded for those calls on the edge. So
I agree with that. He had so many where. And good grief, we saw it this weekend too. Pirates got to swing the bat at some of those, but a lot of outside corner strikes against Moylan this year.
Yep,
and Jacob Jenkins Coward as well.
Yeah, so if you get better umpiring, they're going to say, "Hey, that's off the plate by this much," and he's going to get rewarded for that. So.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. I got excited about this question for a moment. What was Patrick's favorite moment of the season with Clip? But then Jamie says, "Sorry, I meant Cliff." Damn. He then said, same question can be asked for Cliff too. What was your favorite moment of the season with Cliff?
I hate to say that. I just love the quote you gave at the very end of the end of the season press conference about banging on the door. That was pretty good. I mean, those press conferences are always really emotional, and I think that's when you really get to see him being real. So I definitely enjoyed that. Maybe it's sort of an overarching kind of answer to this, but I thought he had a more level sort of mindset this season. I mean, this is my first time doing it last year, but he was so up and down. I thought he was, very, he was very up and down last season. I think this year he accepted wins and just said, it's a win. And he accepted losses the same way. Hey, we got to move on. I thought he did a good job of staying level, and I guess I appreciated that.
Also, do you see any reason why he jumped ship this year? Well, millions of dollars can make anybody do anything.
Yeah, as we see in the golf right now. But I don't think so. My personal, I don't know him all that well, but I think my personal read on it is he wants to get to Omaha with this team. Yeah. He wants to be the guy doing it.
I asked this question to Brian Bailey. I'll ask you, what's more likely in this scenario? Not saying it's going to happen. In fact, it probably won't happen. But who is most likely not to be coaching East Carolina next year? Cliff Godwin or Jeff Palumbo?
Palumbo.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Cliff stays until he gets to Omaha at the very least, and I think he's really invested in this program, and he cares about it a lot. It's not just a job to him. I think you could tell it means more than just that. And Palumbo, he's been here as long as Cliff, 9 years. So I'm sure there's plenty of teams that would like to swipe that mind from ECU and see if they can build something similar.
Now, Patrick, we look ahead and what it's going to look like next year, and we already talked about Josh Moylan if he gets drafted and gets the money he wants, the situation he wants. It's his leverage year, so he may go. If he stays, awesome. I would love to have him back. Really enjoyed talking to him this year. If not, you do have Cam Clonch over there, who we saw get more at-bats as the year started to end. And wasn't great, but we know what kind of bat he has. For a guy to come in as cold as he has off the bench and hit, he's been pretty phenomenal for East Carolina.
Yeah, and he was a mainstay in that postseason lineup. I mean, he was the DH every single game, and he did show power sometimes. And Cliff said too, he was one of the team's better bunters too. I don't know if you want Cam Clonch bunting all the time, but I think he'd be a fine replacement. And like you said with Moylan, this is the year you got to strike. He had a really good season, and we all saw what happened to Bryson Worrell last year. If you stay too long, you just don't have leverage, and teams can wait on you and lowball you, I guess.
And the problem is though, Worrell had his breakout year a year too late,
right?
Whereas Moylan had his at a good time for him personally when it comes to his pro prospects. I'll ask this question that I asked Mully yesterday. So here's just a multiple choice. Next year, we have A, Justin Wilcoxon and Ryan McChrystal on the roster. B, one of Wilcoxon or McChrystal on the roster. C, neither Wilcoxon or McChrystal. What's most likely?
I almost have a feeling with same thing with Moylan that Wilcoxon struck. He had a really good junior year too. I think especially defensively, he really shined. He shut down the run game, and I think a lot of teams will look at that defensive thing. And I think McChrystal is probably saying, "Hey, this is my job now."
Okay. I will say this though, Wilcoxon with his arm, he did let some balls get by him.
Oh, for sure. And
on that part of the defense,
he did, but he got better at it than last year too. I think he even cut down on that from last year. That's something he can work on for sure. But and also, he's catching every one of Trey Savage's start, and that dude just has a nasty splitter. That's tough to handle too. But I'm going to go at the very least McChrystal for sure.
All right, so you think one of the two will be back next year, but not both, one way or the other?
Yeah, I'm curious if Wilcoxon will test the draft waters.
Yeah. All right, as far as Groves, once again, does he's probably, again, the draft's only 20 rounds now, so you have to factor that in. But he's a guy that they're gonna see the potential in and maybe go after. Just think if he's not back though, and you have Savage, Groves, Root, all those guys back next year.
Yeah, the pitching, it looks pretty solid still. Yeah. Like Root's gonna slide into the weekend rotation. You got Savage for another year, and just imagine what he can do. Just having another starting year under his belt. Jake Hunter, he was throwing low 90s. I think his freshman year he was around 88, so he added 4 ticks to that fastball.
Maybe, you talking about Hunter?
Yeah, Jake Hunter. So maybe he can slide in somewhere.
Yep.
So there's definitely a lot of the weekend rotation looks strong. I think for sure.
Very much so. All right, let's take a break. We'll switch gears, talk a little football. Mike Houston in the house. He'll join us coming up at 5 o'clock, and we'll talk about some of that and more. What else is going on in the world of sports? More to go with Patrick Mason here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey, superfans! Marvel Superhero Day is coming to Oriole Park at Camden Yards on Saturday, June 10th, when the O's play the Kansas City Royals at 4:05. Be one of the first 25,000 fans 15 and over at the game to receive an exclusive Adley Rutschman bobblehead inspired by Captain America. Come out to experience the Marvel Universe at Oriole Park and arrive early for Early Bird Saturdays. Gates open 2 hours before first pitch with happy hour, live music, and more. Buy tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
50 years ago, Honda released the Elsinore, a purpose-built motocross bike that redefined the sport. And Red Riders have been racking up wins ever since. That winning legacy continues today with the new CRF 450R, available at Ron Ayers Motorsports. The 2023 450R produces even more low and mid-range torque for faster corner exits. The updated chassis optimizes suspension, performance, and improves handling. And that's just the beginning, because Honda is also releasing a limited edition 450R, decked out in historical design. It sports a blue seat, gold wheels, forks and handlebars, commemorative graphics, and more. Then there's the CRF 450RWE. This Works Edition model gets the same 450R updates, plus a slew of performance extras. Choose your new Honda CRF 450R model at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. After all, you've got a legacy to write. CRF 450R models are intended for closed course operation only.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best. Everybody loves burgers.
With U.S. Cellular, it's just $29.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Rope Elizabeth? She's not going to like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh, boy.
Get the low rate of $29.99 per line. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing.
This is Mike Hoggart with Viva Electric. This is Mark McGlawhorn, Roland Black Heating and Cooling.
We have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. Contact us at callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Call us today to help with your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Go Pirates.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla. It's the best idea ever.
Oh, come on. The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla was my idea. I did that. Don't play yourself.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla.
Genius.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
Pirate Radio.
Pirate Radio.
Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world? Can I?
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. You can join the well over 63,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Patrick Mason hanging out. And if you ain't early, you're late. And Coach Mike Houston is here. We're going to talk to him at 5 o'clock. We're going to talk to him before that as he joins us here in the Pirate Radio studios. And, Coach, busy time as always for you, so we appreciate your time to come by and talk some Pirate football with us.
Absolutely. Good to be here. And, June's a busy month anymore. So a lot going on with the program and recruiting and just a lot of stuff.
Patrick and I were going to talk some football, and there's nothing you love more than to hear in media people talk about your team, right?
Yeah, well, you guys do a good job of it, so keep everybody interested. So.
Now you get a front row seat to it, and we'll get.
So I get to critique and okay.
How about we just discuss it and you guys go when we say something incorrect about your team or roster. Mike Houston joining us, Patrick, we were kind of transitioning from baseball into football, and I've been telling folks that hey, if you get, and for the coaches they're working overtime obviously, but for fans, get through June, get through July. August is a great month. August you're undefeated, you got fall camp, everybody's in a good mood. That's that's some high spirit football time, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, but especially anymore with the program. I mean, it's, the kids are, we have a very solid roster. The kids are working their tails off right now. I mean, they're excited about the season, and there's lots of positive energy around the building right now.
Part of football is replacing guys who graduate and move on. You see it every year. Now, how extreme is this, Coach, with, I haven't crunched the numbers, but 90% maybe of your offensive production, maybe more.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
Have you experienced anything like this before on one side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, that's, especially, the way we had guys transition to what's next. I mean, that's something we all have to kind of get used to. And it's, if we're going to have a program that's playing at a pretty high level, that means you're going to have pretty good players. And, when you have really good players, they're going to get opportunities to play after college. And, we have a bunch of guys that are, trying to make their way with the NFL right now that, carried the ball a lot for us last year. And we're excited for them and their opportunities. I've kind of talked to, all of them kind of throughout the spring. And, but, we got guys stepping into their shoes, and so now it's kind of the next guy's up, the next guy's ready, and those guys are excited. So that's why I say there's a lot of positive energy around the program right now.
And that's a good way to lose people, right? Is to the draft, and you just know you're on the right path.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what our guy out there with the Seahawks does. I'm excited. I texted with Keaton last night. They're finishing up OTAs right now. He'll be back in Greenville here in a few weeks, and so just excited, seeing what those guys are doing.
Man, I want the Ravens to go just triple option with Lamar, with J.K. Dobbins, and with Keaton Mitchell, just to see what happens.
Keaton would be one heck of a pitch back now. I'm telling you, you get him the ball out in space, and that's when he makes his money.
Looking forward to seeing what those guys can do at the next level, and also there's a part of an excitement too. We love Holt Nailers around here, obviously, but something new, something fresh, something different. There's kind of a tinge of excitement there at the quarterback position. Now, I don't know if you'd rather just have them for another 8 years and keep winning games, but how about filling those shoes, Coach, and where you are right now with Mason Garcia, with Alex Flynn, with the quarterback room?
Well, big shoes to fill. That's the first thing. I mean, Holton had, he had a great career, but when he decided to come back for last season, he came back with, a purpose, and certainly I think he achieved what he came back to do. I mean, he had a phenomenal senior year, and so some big shoes to fill because he played so well. But we are very excited about the quarterback room. I mean, you can't help but be when you watch those guys go out there and compete and do the things that they do. And certainly we have a lot of confidence in both Mason and Alex. They're different, but at the same time, they both can run our offense very, very well. We're excited about what we've put around them, and I think they're excited about that too. And so, the guys are working really hard right now just to get on the same page.
Patrick, if you got a question, jump in at any time. I was going to interview you, but now we're interviewing Mike Houston. How about the battle there, Coach? What is that going to be like in fall camp for you when you look at Garcia and Flynn?
Well, it's going to be like every other battle in that, there's a evaluation daily. And you're going to evaluate, not just one day, but, kind of the whole scope of everything. And so, the one difference between that position and other positions is, there's not, full contact on that position. So that is a little bit of a difference. There's nothing like game experience for a quarterback. But the positive for it is, though, that we do so much defensively, and the offensive coaches they really joke about it. I don't know how much of a joke it is to them, but they joke about just how much Coach Harrell throws at them when we're going good on good. But they're going to see everything you can possibly see during preseason camp. It's just going to be how they translate that and transition to game one, which is it's not exactly like we're kicking off with an FCS win right there. You're in Ann Arbor against one of the best teams in the country.
Mike Houston joining us, Coach. I think one thing players like is when the coach practices what they preach, and when you tell somebody something that they can trust you. And you have shown that if you're a true freshman and you earn it, you can play. We saw that with Rajay and Keaton year one. If you're a sixth-year senior and you earn it, you'll play. We saw that with the so you kind of take all that away and say who's going to practice the best. That's who's going to play. That has to get a lot of guys excited, whether you're just coming in or whether you've been here for a few years.
Well, I think it really helps with the kind of the trust and the belief in the program but it's to me it's the American way. You earn it. If you want something, you go earn it, and if you don't earn it, you don't get it. That's why nobody can ever say there's political stuff or there's favoritism or anything like that, because the players watch the same film that the coaches do. And you either do it or you don't, but you earn the respect of your teammates and your coaches by what you do on the field.
I would like to correct you on one thing. People can say it's political.
They can say it.
But it doesn't mean it's true.
That just shows their ignorance, though.
We have made quite a few jokes about that, people calling in. Local politics, but
that's the reason I said that.
So people can say it, doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah.
And I do bring that up, too, because looking at the running back position, great example was Rajay and Keaton playing as freshmen. Last year, Marlon Gunn played, and this year, you have talked about Javius Bond and how much you like him, and he may have a shot to get in the lineup.
Yeah, but now he's got some pretty stiff competition in front of him. I mean, Rajay is working his way back towards being, completely Rajay again. He and I talked about it this afternoon. Just, I still remember when we were recruiting him when he was at Burns High School, and we talked about, the Gaffney game. We went and saw the Gaffney game when he had 300-plus yards rushing and just beat the tar out of Gaffney at their place. And talked about his freshman year, the game down at South Florida, which was the one that kind of put him on the map. And he's excited about getting back to that Rajay Harris. And so you got him, you got Marlon, you got Gerald Green, and you got Javius Bond, who is a very, very talented freshman tailback. But there's a lot of stiff competition in that room.
Rajay is a guy that's got just an unbelievable spirit and smile. Like, I've loved getting to know him, and I think we've talked about it. Like, you were kind of worried about when somebody gets injured, they go to that dark place. And how is he? Has he come out of that?
He's out of it.
Same smile and everything.
He's out of it. Now, he was in it.
Yeah,
and then and nobody can blame you. I mean, we've all, any athlete that's been injured has went through that. And but now he's back. He's smiling. He's talking. He's the back to that enthusiastic leader. He's fully cleared in the weight room, and he's fully cleared with some running stuff. And he and I talked about this last week. It's just, we don't want to do too much too fast. We want to make sure he's progressing upward. We want to make sure he is fully ready to go when fall camp kicks off.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when we talked to Rajay in the spring, and he finally came in with a smile, and he just said, how difficult it was, but just being able to run and on the field was so big for him. And I thought that was really cool, just seeing him have fun again in his life, because he was so disappointed, and it's understandable.
Got a great head on his shoulders, and looking forward to seeing him back on the field. Coach, we'll take a break here in a moment, but as we go through, I guess, the offense right now, a lot of, obviously, pass catchers leaving the program, but you've still got some around and some newcomers coming in. So, and we saw some of those connections, and I pay attention to names you talk about during spring with Jalen Johnson, with Shane Calhoun, and with others. So who are the guys you trust right now at that receiver position, tight end position?
Well, I mean, first, I think Shane Calhoun's going to have a breakout year. I mean, he has worked so hard. He is in the best physical condition of his life. I mean, he looks incredible and running well, and he's a very experienced player now. So, obviously he's going to be a big piece of our offense. I think Jalen, he has the ability, he has the opportunity, and he has the experience. A big thing with him has been just, you got to do a great job with your body, and you got to make sure that you're available. He struggled a little bit being available last year. Josiah Hatfield and Kerry King, obviously those two are going to be huge parts of our offense. And they are just, Kerry King is, you couldn't ask for a better leader than the way he conducts his business on a daily basis. He's a very driven kid and really demanding and high expectations of himself. So, I think those guys are the returners that I think right now, really stand out in everything we're doing. You have, a couple of new faces, which are extremely talented. Now, everything they've done is just, against, kind of air. Yeah. So it's not like they've went out there and played a game for us yet, but boy, they've got the ability.
And unfortunately, newcomers are going to be compared to what Isaiah Winstead did last year, which is it might not be normal. He came in and he was as advertised, and he was awesome. And you hope everybody can come in and be like that, just like that, but not always the case.
Well, I think that Keelan and Chase both have the talent. There's no doubt. And Keelan's been, Chase was a freshman last year at Colorado. Keelan's been in a college football program for a couple of years, and he looks it. He is an impressive-looking athlete. Both of them are very smart. I do think that you'll see both of them be a big part of our offense this fall.
We'll get to the O-line. We also got a lot of questions coming in on YouTube. We'll jump to those too. Patrick, we'll let you run, as you have no Chicago White Sox baseball to watch tonight, unfortunately.
Right. Any other input for us?
What do you got
offensively, Patrick? So
I'm just looking forward to the running back position, really.
First play against Michigan, what would you tell Donnie and Coach to call?
Oh, man, just a stretch run play.
Stretch run. Okay.
You're not going to get the fan base excited about a stretch run.
Yeah, but you don't have to get the fan base excited right away on play one. There's plenty of football.
Mason can probably throw it 70 yards in the air.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So
yeah, we can just play two.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you call fair catch on the kickoff, they'll put you at the 25. Have him throw it to their 5. Yeah, touchdown.
They do 25 now?
Is it 25 or 30? What is it?
Well, it depends if it's a touchback in the end zone or a fair catch or whatever. So. Yeah, 25.
Throw the bomb, Coach. Throw the bomb. All right.
One bomb.
P-Mace, we'll talk to you next week, man.
Sounds good.
Enjoy the soup.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, and Coach Mike Houston will join us for another segment when we return. If you want to get some questions in, you can do that on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter as well. We'll take a timeout, come back. More to go. Pirate Radio Live after this.
Can I get through days when I can't get through hours?
The Beach Tavern Bar and Grill has been the place to be for over 50 years. BT's is the best local sports bar in the heart of Atlantic Beach. Located on West Fort Macon Road across from Pacific, BT's has daily food specials, a late night menu, cold beer, pool, darts, and live entertainment for everyone to enjoy. Make it a summer to remember at the Beach Tavern Bar and Grill. Follow BT's on Facebook and Instagram for all the daily specials and events. BT's, the place for fun in Atlantic Beach this summer.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
And then it was two seagulls!
We're here for the booty.
Party?
Pirate Water is here. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find pirate water in a location near you.
We're going plankton!
Pirate Water is here. 21 and older, please drink responsibly.
5th Street Hardware and Tap Room is serving up the best lunch in town with a different special every day. Come sit on the patio and enjoy wonderful weather with lunch specials for only $9. 5th Street Hardware and Tap Room is open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Thirsty? Stop in for a cold beer with over 40 taps to choose from. 5th Street Hardware and Tap Room, next to the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today? And then you hear
Warren's hot dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's hot dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's hot dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates! Did you know 1 in 5 Americans use alternative wellness practices? And this number is growing with good reason. Your CBD store empowers modern wellness through premium hemp products. We're the #1 CBD brick and mortar in the world with products for sleep, focus, recovery, and more. Our products are the gold standard in hemp wellness. Your CBD store Greenville, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, or call 999-5127.
Must be 18 years of age. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 at 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day or any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress, casual, or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. Russell's has served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 40 years with quality clothing and personal service. Russell's Clothing on Main Street in downtown Washington. Pirates supporting Pirates. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Great to have Coach Mike Houston hanging out with us. We appreciate his time here on the show today to talk some Pirate football as we tie a bow on the ECU baseball season and the athletics calendar for 2022-2023. And, Coach, another great run for Cliff Godwin's guys that unfortunately ended in a regional championship.
Yeah, you know, that's just that game Saturday night was tough. You know, that's the one that really, you know, because you had the chances to win it. But, you know, what a great year that they had again. And I know everybody's disappointed that we didn't host or we didn't have a super regional. But, I mean, what, you won 47 games?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not too shabby.
And we kind of looked at it when we came in on Monday, just looking back at the athletics year as a whole. And you guys winning a bowl game, first time since 2013.
Right.
Man, the run Kim McNeil's team went on. That was a lot of fun. Mike Schwartz winning a postseason game in the tournament. It feels like we're on a pretty good run here.
Well, I mean, you've got both basketballs, I feel like, are in a very positive place. You know, football's in a very positive place. You got baseball in a very positive place. I feel like women's soccer is in a very positive place. I mean, Gary has done a great job with that program, and they're playing at a high level. Lacrosse, you know, had a great spring.
Yeah.
So I think there's just so much positivity around the athletic department and all the programs.
Mike Houston joining us. Shirley, I got a clip saved from earlier today. You got that ready to go. Coach, you guys, and it's been awesome getting to talk to some of your players who can come in after a win and be level-headed, come in after a loss and be ready to move on. That is tough for fans. That's tough for sometimes media. We try to paint big, broad strokes after a win that maybe, hey, this is the year, or after a loss, well, this year's over. You guys have to stay so focused. But here's an example of fans. This is coming off a beat down against UCF, and you had this particular fan, Justin in New Bern, fired up to go to BYU.
And next week in Provo, Utah, BYU, we are coming for you. I'm going to slap every cougar on that mountain. and we're bringing all the vices to you. I'm bringing coffee, and I'm bringing Pepsi, and I'm bringing beer and tequila and whiskey and more tequila and more whiskey and more beer. And Mike Houston and the Pirates are rolling in there, and we're whooping some BYU tail. Go Pirates!
All right, that was after a win, and you did go to BYU and win that game on a field goal.
Sounds like he needs to be like with the old WWE.
It was very stone coldish.
Yes.
Great call there. An example of the highs, and we've got some lows too that we could play, but fans are up and down. How tough? At this point in your career, I guess you've done it so much, but is it tough to kind of move on to the next one?
No. It's just, I do feel like the kids handle it better than I do. I mean, it's just, the energy and the emotions of the wins are such a high. And then, I mean, when you put, 100 hours or whatever it is a week of preparation into a game, and then when you have those tough losses, like we had some heartbreakers last year, and just the lows can just, they crush me. And that's, you say, well, you're getting older. Shouldn't it get a little more numb to it? And you just don't. I mean, you pour everything into it, and so it's that is probably the toughest thing to manage is those two extremes during the season.
And you famously, after the Memphis win, beat on the podium. How about those freaking Pirates? Like, we like the emotion, Coach. How
about those freaking Pirates?
There it is. That was this man. That almost sounds like a different guy.
Let's see. We started off. We got down 14-0 to start the game, right?
Yeah.
And so we had the fake punt, which was there. I'm telling you, it was there. And then we have a busted assignment. We get tackled.
Oh, no.
And I'm sitting over there and like, this is going just. But then our kids we came back, and to win the game in 4 overtimes and to win it the way you want it, and it's just that's the extremes, right? You get all the extremes in one ball game.
Exactly.
I mean, they were getting ready to boo me out of the stadium in the first quarter, and so you win it in 4 overtimes. I mean, you're pretty jacked.
No doubt. Mike Houston joining us. Highs and lows of being a college football head coach. Let's see. We got a ton of questions.
A lot more
here.
Highs nowadays, though.
Absolutely. Trust me. Yeah, we've been here for some lows.
I was on suicide watch in 19.
Well, we're in a much different place here years later. All right, let's knock out some of these listener questions, Coach. What position group has really improved this year that maybe struggled last year? What bump have you seen this offseason in a position group?
I think probably the secondary. I mean, I just think that you have some guys that are a year older. You have a lot more length. With both some guys that were in the program that didn't play much last year that are now experienced and playing more, and you got some newcomers that have some length. So I think that the added length and speed in that room has been very evident. Our team right now runs as well as any group I've had at ECU. I mean, we run, and so it's. I think that you should see some pretty significant improvement right there this fall.
Interested to see about this rule change, Coach, that you're asked about with the no clock stop on a first down. Well, how is that going to impact the time of games? How will it impact drives and situations? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, it's going to reduce the length of the game a little bit. It's probably going to reduce, probably 7 to 10 snaps a game is what they tell us. And really, the reason they're doing it is because of the expanded playoff. They're trying to, lessen the number of plays throughout the season for the players. So the games will be a touch shorter. I wish they'd do away with the TV timeouts, but that's not going to go away.
Yeah, and I don't mind this rule. You have so many stoppages in a game already with reviews, with TV timeouts. Right. I don't think this will be too drastic, but
no, I don't think the fans will notice.
Yeah.
It'll just be a few fewer plays.
Brandon says, ask Coach what you won't be watching the game. You'll be on the sidelines. What do you think about the Michigan game being on Peacock instead of national TV?
I don't care.
Okay, there you go.
I am a little surprised, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to be ranked, when the AP poll comes out or whatever, they're probably going to be ranked 2.
Well, maybe that's why they do it. They try to get some money. They know Michigan's going to be a draw, and ECU is a bowl winner.
Coach Harbaugh is saying that this is their best chance that they've ever had to win a national championship.
It makes you feel good, don't it?
Yeah. Hey, bring them on.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see. How about the new conference, Coach? I guess it became official maybe yesterday. I saw some tweets about it, but UTSA, UAB, Rice, which you're not playing all of these teams,
right,
but a lot of new teams coming in. What's your take on that?
Well, we had conference meetings last week, and so we were all together for the first time. And, a lot of those guys I know. And know about their programs, and so obviously, three teams leaving, but I think some really quality programs coming in. Like UTSA is probably going to be one of the better teams in the country next year.
They were in the top 25 most of the last year,
right? And and Jeff's done a great job there. He feels really, really confident about his roster. So it's going to be, Rice, Bloom had them in a bowl game last year, so very solid team returning there. So it's going to be a challenging conference, just like always.
What is the message you tell recruits to sell them on ECU? What's your recruiting pitch, if you could boil that down?
Well, I think a couple of things. I mean, first, they really are blown away when they see the stadium when they come to campus. And so I tell them, I said, listen, a lot of people have a big stadium. I said, the difference is ours is full. Our fan base is our best selling point in recruiting. But it's, getting them here and getting them around campus and seeing everything. But then I tell them, you want to come here for the same reasons that I wanted to come here. This is a football school. Football is important at East Carolina. Our fan base supports the program. The city of Greenville supports the program. It matters here. And that's, a lot of times we're recruiting against a school that may have this or that or whatever, but they're not a football school in this region because there's only so many. And so that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, and Ryan McManus joined us, Director of Football Operations, last week, and we'll talk about some of your camps coming up. But he said winning helps. He said, hey, we got a ring, which I believe I saw on social media, bowl wins, and now, Coach, you can, before a couple of years ago, you were selling kind of the vision. Now you're saying, hey, here's what we got.
Right, and, and I'll tell you another piece. It's the biggest selling factor that we have are our players. It's I love our roster. The kids, the way they are with each other, the way they represent themselves. It's what you want. And when parents and recruits get around them, the parents feel very comfortable with who their son's going to be with, and I think that's a big factor also. Yeah, you're selling what the program is right now, not what it's going to be.
And man, I don't know if we got lucky. Troy and Jonathan kind of got together the last couple of years, and we had the Players Lounge here on the show and got to talk. I don't know if we got just like every awesome guy you have on your team and got lucky with our picks, or I imagine everybody is that way. Because talking to Miles Berry and Bruce the year before, like, just amazing dudes.
And I feel like you could pick any
of them. Yeah.
And probably Miles started his new job this week down in Texas. So
just an amazing guy. He's awesome.
He's going to own a company here.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Mike Houston joining us, Coach. What is the biggest difference of coaching at ECU versus your previous stops?
Every stop is different. I think the American Conference is a difference. At JMU, we were the best team in that league, it's the conference was strong, but you were the alpha dog. Now you've got a bunch of alpha dogs in this league.
Yeah,
it's a dang bar fight every week. It's just you beat each other to death. I think that's one difference. I do, just being back in North Carolina for me personally is just that's a big piece for Amanda and the boys and I.
I asked Bryce Williams, former ECU tight end, to come up with a question. He is obsessed with numbers. That's all he's got. He said because he wanted his first question. He didn't want me to ask. He said, if he joined the team this year, would you let him wear 80 or would you keep it on Shane Calhoun? And I said, Bryce, his guy is going to keep 80. Calhoun's keeping 80. You're not getting 80.
Yeah, I'll find you a good number, though.
He said he wanted to know what your favorite number is. I guess, what did you wear? Or what number?
I wore 88.
Okay.
So, Josiah.
That's a Cowboys thing, ain't it?
No,
Okay.
No,
right.
I was 44 in high school. I got to college, and an upperclassman had 44, so they gave me 88.
Okay.
So That's what award. But anyway, we'll find 97 will be a good number for Bryce.
You look good in that 97.
97 coming across the middle.
But 88, Josiah, the 88 on this roster. You said okay, all right.
That's good. Josiah represented well,
no doubt. Craig says, name a player that might not be in the spotlight but impresses you with his work ethic. Who comes to mind? Who are those workers for you, Coach?
Well, I think I mentioned one while ago, Kerry King. I think certainly he's kind of set himself apart.
Is he still 17? Oh, I know he was.
He's going to wear 7 this year.
Okay, he's a 7.
Devin King is wearing 17. Don't start asking me a bunch of numbers. they all come in wanting a different number. About every other semester. So, Jack Powers has had a great spring and summer. He's a kid I think may have a big year this year.
All right, a couple of names there. Josh asking how Coach feels about the chances this year with the new teams. We talked about the new teams coming into conference, and look, I feel like nationally, when you look at it, you'll say, "Oh, they lost Houston and Cincinnati, and they were really good teams." UCF, but there's still a lot of quality coming in, maybe just not name brands, right?
Well, I mean, it's just because we haven't known them doesn't mean they're not quality programs.
Yeah.
I mean, we mentioned UTSA a while ago. UAB has been a strong program for years. Tom Herman at FAU, he's going to do a great job down there. We mentioned Rice a while ago. UNC Charlotte will be kind of a regional rivalry, deal with two schools in the state of North Carolina.
UAB, since coming back, has been really good. And how about Trent Dilfer? That's a very interesting hire.
That was. I knew him a little bit just from him doing games with ESPN, but good guy, really good guy. Obviously, played forever, knows football. He was good at the meetings last week.
All right, Brandon, hopefully Coach has the answer to this one. What will it take to get highly ranked recruits to come to ECU like Alabama and Ohio State get?
$14 million a year.
All right, that's it.
I think that's the budget the top schools in the SEC for NIL for football.
Okay, so
that's the one thing is just, like the lower tier ACC schools, their budget for NIL for just football per year is $5 million, $6 million. It's insane.
Yeah. And so if you would like to write that check, we'll get you in touch with the right people, right?
Yeah.
Brandon or anybody out there. TJ says, Clip, can you ask Coach Houston what his favorite music artist is? Sure.
Oh, I got a couple. Now, Journey, definitely got to be in there. Motley Crue has to be on the list.
You seen any of these live? You been to any concerts?
Saw Aerosmith live.
Okay.
Saw Nickelback. Saw Breaking Benjamin.
Oh, wow.
Random.
Okay. All right. Why did you go to a Breaking Benjamin show? Are you a fan?
I love Breaking Benjamin.
Awesome. All right.
My wife went with me.
Excellent. All right. Are you in the mosh pit with Igo and them?
Absolutely.
That's hilarious. Breaking Benjamin. I like that. Mike Houston joining us here today. Coach, I want to mention your camps before we let you get out of here. And we talked about it last week with Ryan McManus. But prospect camps going on. But for folks out there that are interested in the Junior Pirates camp and
next week,
the ladies clinic, need to get on that, right?
So next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Junior Pirates camp, in the mornings. Then ladies clinic is June 23rd. That'll be in the evening there. Information on all those camps are at MikeHoustonFootballCampsLLC.com. You can look on our website. There's a link there too. But excited about that next week. I love the little kids camp. Those guys are always enthusiastic, and it is K through 8th.
Okay.
And then the ladies clinic is a big hit every year. And really the good thing this year is we will have players involved with the ladies clinic this year. We did it at a time when the players are there. We will have players involved in the little kids camp too.
Awesome. I was going to ask you about that, Coach, because my favorite part growing up, I went to Coach Gary Overton baseball camp back in the day, and also Mike Steele camp. But being the players being there, they're heroes to kids around here. So, and you talked about how great your team is. I know kids and the ladies will love that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's get to be with the Pirates at those two events.
Mike Houston Football Camp prospectcampsllc.com. You can get signed up there. Coach, what is the rest of so we mentioned the prospect camps, you got official visits, so you're still in football mode here in June.
Yeah,
right?
so June is, it's every single day between recruiting and the stuff with our players. It's every single day through June. We got a official visit last weekend. We have another one. Got a group coming in tomorrow. Have a big prospect camp on Sunday. So it's constant right now till the end of June, and then the dead period hits the last right at the tail end, last week of June. The dead period comes, and so that's when all the coaches get to catch their breath.
Man, all right, and a little vacation, catch up on Yellowstone or whatever you're watching these days.
We're not watching anything right now.
Nothing good.
The pandemic got me hooked on some of that stuff. It's a little bit more difficult now, but.
I know what you're going to say, but how you feeling about the Cowboys this year?
It's our year.
It's our year.
Yeah.
How many years in a row you said that? Since they won their last one?
Since 96 or 97, whatever it was.
Hey, we got rid of Dan Snyder, so maybe we'll be back. I don't know. You don't know?
I'm never going. What the hell's your name now?
Well, it's Washington. We're the Commanders.
Isn't there an issue with that?
There's some kind of copyright issue. Maybe we'll get a new name. Maybe, I don't know. We're just trying to I don't know, have a business there, Coach. And we got a good coach in Ron Rivera. Problem is everything.
Coach Rivera.
I know, and everything around him crumbles. So it's got to be tough for him.
But I refuse to pull for the Redskins.
That's fine. Yeah, and I'll never pull for the Cowboys.
No, like John Riggins. That's like profanity.
That's awesome. I love it. I love the hate. It makes it fun, right?
Oh, no doubt.
Coach, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it, and good luck the rest of this off season. And we'll talk to you coming up, I guess, in August, getting ready for media day and fall camp and all that good stuff.
Exciting times.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be a Pirate.
Thank you, Coach. Mike Houston joining us here in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, I tell you what, we got Ken Watlington coming in. Can we go ahead and open up the booty bag right now and make a winner? Let's do it.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250. What are we giving away today?
A pair of tickets to a Down East Wood Ducks baseball game.
All right, you can go see the Woodies on us. What caller are you looking for?
12.
Caller 12, 317-1250. We're back with more on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, superfans! Marvel Superhero Day is coming to Oriole Park at Camden Yards on Saturday, June 10th, when the O's play the Kansas City Royals at 4:05. Be one of the first 25,000 fans 15 and over at the game to receive an exclusive Adley Rutschman bobblehead inspired by Captain America. Come out to experience the Marvel Universe at Oriole Park and arrive early for Early Bird Saturdays. Gates open 2 hours before first pitch with happy hour, live music, and more. Buy tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Frank Lee with Appliances Superstore, and I'm inviting you to our grand opening on Wednesday, June 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. Come help us celebrate with light refreshments, and we'll show you how easy it is buying appliances. We started with a truck, a trailer, and a storage unit. Today we have 12,000 square feet full of appliances. We're located right off 264 behind the new DMV. We hope to see you June 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. Remember, we save customers money every day at the Appliances Superstore.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
Upgrade your comfort right now during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Summer in Motion event. Need to relax, recline, and unwind? Now at Bostic Sugg, enjoy savings on all our top furniture brands. Plus, for a limited time, when you buy any recliner, lift chair, or reclining sofa or sectional, you'll get a second reclining furniture item at 40% off. With over 400 items in stock plus special savings on custom orders, relaxation has never been so easy. The Summer in Motion event on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear is your one-stop shop to help promote your business and always provide superior customer service. No matter what apparel you need for your team or customers, University Sportswear can make it happen. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. University Sportswear, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Go Pirates!
And then it was two seagulls!
We're here for the booty.
Party?
Pirate Water is here. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find Pirate Water in a location near you.
We're going plankton!
Pirate Water is here. 21 and older, please drink responsibly.
Pirate Radio.
ECU Pirates. Can't nobody do what we do. You know. That's right. All right then.
Yeah!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. East Plumbing, Viva Electric, and Rolling Black Heating and Cooling have teamed up to form a New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. For plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services, go to callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. And congratulations to Rodney Letchworth of Ayden. Picked up a pair of tickets to a Down East Wood Ducks baseball game. Baseball is back in Kinston, and you can get single game tickets and check out all the fun promotions planned this season right now at woodducksbaseball.com. Go Woodies. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome back in to Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Clip Rock here with you, joined by Ken Watlington, WNCT at Channel 9, to talk some sports here on a Wednesday. Ken, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, Clip. How are you?
I'm fine. We're both a little bit in mourning after our baseball teams took the L's this weekend. East Carolina made it to the regional final, losing to Virginia, and UNCW
allegedly made the NCAA tournament, but they didn't really show up.
Well, they had a lead in their first game, right?
They were 2-0 after 2 innings.
And then you blinked.
And then it was over. Yeah, just like that.
Well, Duke was on a mission, it looked like, down there in Conway.
Blue Devils are playing well, and Seahawks gave up a grand slam in each one of their 2 games. That never helps. So.
No, that's not going to get you many
disappointing
wins.
into a successful season.
Right. It's always disappointing, but you look at the, the journey, not the destination. And we'll once again see UNCW and ECU, I would assume, meet on the field. That is a fun baseball rivalry, and want to get that cranked up more again in basketball, which I think we have.
Yeah, it's Pirates Seahawks in Greenville this year. I saw the date somewhere, but it's early in the season.
Yeah, so that is always fun, and looking forward to that matchup.
And one-day football.
One day, yeah.
We won't live to see it, but one day there will be football at UNCW.
What if you're the guy that brings football? Is it back to UNCW or for the first time ever?
First time ever
to UNCW?
They are undefeated, never been scored on. So
you know what? Just keep it that way, right?
That's true. We got T-shirts that they sell down there. Undefeated, unscored on since 1947, and stuff like that. So.
I mean, you talk about the '85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens or whatever. UNCW is not giving up a point
of UNCW.
Exactly.
Football.
And we're starting to turn that page to football. Mike Houston on the show today, Ken, and starting to get excited because really, if it's a long summer for sports fans, but you get through June and July, it cranks up in August. August is my favorite month because, like we're joking about UNCW, everybody's undefeated in August. You haven't lost a game yet. You got your fantasy drafts. You got some preseason. You've got all the hype. Chandler and I are excited, and Brian Bailey, and maybe you'll go to the Parker's Barbecue, Big Carolina,
Yep.
and get a free lunch. One of my favorite days of the year.
You had me at free.
Exactly. So, August is awesome. Yeah. If you can make it through June and July, folks, you'll be doing all right.
And June goes by pretty quick too. Usually you got regionals to talk about, super regionals. You got the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament coming up next week down in Morehead City, and before you know it, it'll be Independence Day. You'll be looking at the fireworks, and 2 weeks after that, football's here.
Boom! Just like that.
Just like that.
Are you? Are the higher ups going to let you get down to Morehead City?
I will be down there a week from Thursday. Doing live broadcast at 5, 5:30, and 6.
You've done that before?
Last year we were down there and it was so hot that and we're out in the sun. There's no covering right there on the docks. We're at the weigh station, and it was so hot that our equipment shut down. That we sat out there, trying to do our broadcast. So hopefully, the way the weather's been lately, it won't be that hot next week.
I'm looking at it now. It has been, and Ken, being around here, this has been an abnormally cool, mild spring, early summer, whatever. It has been fantastic.
It's been great. Wish the sun would come out a little more often.
Well, it can't now because of this,
got the smoke. Thanks, Canada.
Once again,
Gosh.
South Park had it right all those years ago. Blame Canada. But it has been it's been awesome. Now, at some point, it is going to get hell hot around here, and we all know it.
Yeah.
But man, enjoy it while you can. But Ken, that's a pretty neat event, right? Just to do something out of the norm a little bit to cover.
Oh, for sure. It's such a huge event for the Crystal Coast, and it's become kind of well known across the region and across the country.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's come down and fished in it the last couple of years. As of last night, his boat has not officially entered for this year, but I think there's word that they plan on the Catch 23 boat to be fishing down there once again. Curtis Strange helps out every year with the Big Rock Committee. He's obviously a Hall of Fame golfer and North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame inductee in the last couple of months, I believe, as well. So it's a lot of fun, and for me, it's a change of pace to get out of the studio and ideally there'd be gorgeous weather and you're out on the water all day long, talking about fun stuff instead of Canadian fire.
You can tell it's June if you go to ESPN.com. I'm looking at some of these headlines, Ken. You've got the Live and PGA Tour stuff going on. Messi is apparently going to play in the MLS for Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. The Iron Sheik has passed away. That's making headlines.
R.I.P.
Yeah, to the Sheik.
Wonder what Hulk has to say about it.
Screw Hulk Hogan in honor of the Iron Sheik today. So you've got a lot of different... we got a Madden cover update. You see who the cover boy is?
Josh Allen, right?
Josh Allen, the Madden cover boy. I haven't played Madden in
also
years.
at ESPN, I'm sure there's 7 different headlines about the Cowboys.
Always.
And will LeBron play for who next season?
If LeBron retires, will he play tight end for Dallas?
Exactly.
Let's get that conversation going. And hey, Braves win.
I saw 3 Braves games over the weekend. They won 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
And Sunday afternoon, 104 degrees outside in downtown Phoenix. The roof was closed. 2 outs in the 9th. Braves were down 1. Then Eddie Rosario cranks a grand slam. Pretty cool moment of all my sports moments I've seen in person. That's top 10 probably. It was really, really cool.
I pulled a Ken Watlington on Sunday. We were here watching we were watching the Pirates. That's right. I was following the Braves, and ECU was losing. I started looking at other scores. I said, okay, the Braves are going to lose again. Another lost series. Didn't even check back on it. Didn't even know until Monday they had won the game, Ken.
Really?
So it took the page right out of your book there of giving up early.
You had a lot on your plate, though.
Yeah,
a lot to pay attention to. And then on Saturday in the game, Braves won. Ronald Acuna hit what they said was a 464-foot home run. I'm pretty sure that ball is still on the way to Albuquerque because he knocked the ever-living you-know-what out of that baseball. And this is the sound that it made when it came off the bat. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Saw this tweet. Every Acuna home run would have also been a home run at the Polo Grounds, which is famously
just give him the MVP.
I mean, that's pretty cool to see his home run chart, and the Braves just dropped bombs. And what was the scuttlebutt with Pete Alonso last night?
Pete Alonso apparently, he hit a home run, hit it long way,
as he does,
and just was chirping at Bryce Elder.
Okay.
Something about throw it again, please, or something like that.
So Mets talk, Braves win, kind of par for the course.
Then after, Alonso chirped at him, Bryce Elder sat down 11 in a row. Braves retook the lead, and he got the win. And he's leading the NL in ERA. So
go figure.
Bryce Elder, that's the guy.
Bryce Elder. I mean, this happens every year. Braves have an unknown guy. You're like excited about one guy, and then an unknown pitcher comes in and is the man.
You got to think, as frustrating as it's been at points this season to be a Braves fan. Max Fried's on the 60-day IL. Kyle Wright's on the 60-day IL. Fried was second in the Cy Young race last year. Kyle Wright led the National League in wins. They're off the table for a couple more months probably. And yet the Braves starting pitching has the lowest ERA in the National League. And it seems like they're only a 500 team. They're not. They got the best record in the league. And the bats are starting to get going. There's one guy I'm a little worried about, and that's Michael Harris II.
Yeah.
Really, really in a funk. But, Austin Riley's starting to hit the ball again. Acuna's been just fantastic. It's all he might be the first 40-80 player in baseball history. We'll see about
phenomenal.
That, he's definitely the front runner for MVP. Spencer Strider might be the front runner right now for the Cy Young. So, there's when they go 2 or 3 game losing streaks, like okay, here it goes, it's over. But I think they'll do all right.
Braves are a favorite tonight against Max Scherzer and the Mets at home. I've been out of it engulfed in ECU baseball. Has Soroka made his second start? Did I miss that?
He did. He made his second start Sunday.
So you saw it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't great.
Yeah.
But he did not get a decision in that game. Gave up a home run or two that I guess they said he's missing his location. Just his pitches don't have as much movement as they did pre Achilles injury number 1, since he's had 2 now. So it's going to take a while. They sent him back down, so they're going to get him some more time there in Gwinnett to hopefully get him going.
Oh, okay.
But by the end of the season, maybe you get a backup to speed Soroka. You get a healthy Fried. You get a healthy Kyle Wright.
Right.
Added to Strider and Charlie Morton and Bryce Elder. My goodness, that's a rotation.
Let's just stay in first, kind of stick around, and then get those guys back at the end of the year and make a run.
Another surprise, though. There's a team in second place in the NL East. Only 3 games behind the Braves. It's not the Phillies. It's not the Mets. It's your Miami Marlins.
Yeah, here they come. They make these rando runs every 10 or so years.
But my buddy told me the other day, the guy who went to the Phoenix games, Arizona games with, he's like, you know what? If the team chasing the Braves is the Marlins, I think they're going to be okay. I'm like,
yeah,
maybe you're right.
That's a good point.
But they
I guess at some point the Mets and Philly certainly could, but it's nice to have that pad in front of us right now.
Mets are struggling, and Phillies are struggling too. Honestly, I mean, with all the firepower they supposedly have now, and they just really haven't added up yet.
We're going to do Ken's favorite and least favorite ballparks one day here in the summer. We'll do that.
We can run down the whole list.
We've been talking a little NFL over-unders here, Ken, because we had our favorite Cowboy, Brian Bailey, on the show talking about their over-under.
How about the Cowboys?
Win total. And, of course, he loves them over 9.5 this year. Take it to the bank.
They're over 17 wins.
I talked to Billy Weaver, Commanders fan, who I asked him what he thought the over-under would be. He's way too optimistic. Put it at 8. It's sitting at 6.5. So he likes over 6.5 for Washington. How about you? How you feeling about the Commanders as we sit here in early June?
What were they last year? 7 and 10, 8 and 9,
8, I believe.
Oh yeah, they'll win at least 8 games.
Because they were right there in the playoffs until Ron Rivera started Carson Wentz against the Cleveland Browns, and he threw 3 interceptions.
That's true. Sam Howell is going to lead us to the playoffs.
Why not? Now
somebody's got to eventually.
I am not. I don't even want to read anything about this offseason, but I saw a headline that Chase Young felt pretty explosive.
I hope so.
Good. Okay, fine. I'm not going to get too excited about that, but I don't know.
You know, I was joking about ESPN and the Cowboys, and as we look up now, ESPN is talking about the Cowboys. So there you go.
Dak Prescott to Dalton Schultz, touchdown.
But back to the Commanders, America's real team. I think they'll be a little bit better than last year, and that might be enough to get them into the playoffs.
They were 8-1. Who's the tie?
That's right. The tie was God.
What's funny is I remember every game from 95 to like 07 and anything beyond. Well,
was it
12.
the Bengals? No, not the Bengals.
That was over in London years ago where they tied.
Yeah.
It was the Giants.
Yes, when they played the Giants back to back,
and then we got them and lost to them at home on a we watched that game right here, and it did not go well. But excited for the upcoming football season. Again, Mike Houston on the show today, so we're talking some Pirate football and kind of, just so many unknowns. I saw a recent win total for ECU drop, and it has dropped. It's at 5.5 now. It keeps getting lower as people maybe look at this roster, look at this offense, just the amount of production you lost, Ken. It's tough to replace all that.
It is tough to replace that, but as we've seen, Mike Houston can coach some guys up. He's got a great staff. It's Division I football. It's next man up mentality. And, they do. I mean, they lose a 5-year starter, basically, a quarterback, and some really explosive players on the outside, and a couple of good defensive players. I mean, there's a lot of turnover, but I think there's some winnable games in the conference. It's not quite the conference schedule that it was, in the past in the American, with some new teams coming in and some older teams going away. And you start off with the end all be all of non-conference games at Michigan, but then you got some games that are winnable. There's no games in where you have to go to BYU or something this year like that. So.
I like the non-conference schedule because I like Marshall, I like App State, I like those games that are somewhat regional, and also somewhat rivalries.
Has some history to them.
It has a friendly rivalry and an unfortunate incident that ties the schools together. And App State, as much as a lot of Pirate fans don't like it, and their rise up the ranks where they were dominant in FCS and then joining FBS, that's a fun game. That was a fun game when they played in Charlotte a couple years ago.
Is this the first time ECU's gone to App State?
First time I can recall,
maybe the 70s or something like that.
Yeah. So that's going to be, they're going to be fired up. I saw today they had sold out season tickets, so should be great crowds there as well.
Last year, App State opened up at home against Carolina, and it went to overtime, right? Or no, it ended up 66-62 or something.
Oh, my
ridiculous.
goodness, yes. Yeah, I do remember that one. All right, you were following the NBA Finals at all, Ken?
I have been a little bit. I watched Game 2 the other night out in Arizona. My buddy's like, let's watch the game. And my thought was, 8:30. Like, oh, no, it starts in 20 minutes at 5:30.
What's that like? What's that like living being a sports fan in that time zone?
Well, here's two sides of it. That was cool, where the NBA Finals was starting in the afternoon. We're at this brewery in this nice little outdoor patio area. It's 102 degrees, but with the fans blowing in the shade, it was comfortable. The flip side of that was the regionals. When there was a 12 noon start on Saturday, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm listening to some baseball at 9 o'clock in the morning, eating some breakfast, drinking some coffee. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I prefer the East Coast. As I get older, I'm starting to get more of the, hey, can we start these games a tad earlier, all that. But I think I like my NFL. I think NFL 1, 4, 8. I love that lineup.
Yeah.
If it was 11, 1, 10
a.m.
the 10.
That's tough.
I don't know. I guess I would adjust, just like the good sports fan that I am. But I don't want to have to do that.
You don't have to. So just stay right here, East Coast.
Maybe Central's got it figured out.
It's the East Coast, West Coast rivalry. You're Biggie.
I am. You calling me fat?
Nope. I'm saying you're the greatest of all time. How about that?
Run away from the police. Picture that. I'm too fat. Mess around, catch an asthma attack. I really related to that, which is why I never did anything wrong, so I didn't have to run from the police. Thank you, Biggie.
Yeah, thank you.
For keeping me out of trouble.
Rest in peace.
All right, Ken Watlington joining the Iron Sheik and Biggie up there.
That's right. Oh, man, what a party.
Talking wrestling. Ken, what's on the docket for this week? You got Big Rock next week, which we can talk more about that. But, man, you had the high school state playoffs wrap up.
It's all done.
Baseball, softball.
The season is over in every sport in high school. One of the big things that came out earlier this week was Martin County high schools are consolidating into one program, which is kind of something that we really haven't seen done. The schools will stay separate, but the athletics will come together under one umbrella, and they'll actually move up from 1A to 2A starting next
year. So how many schools is that? Do you like high schools? Do you know?
It's 2 high schools. So
Okay.
technically there's 3 high schools, public high schools in Martin County. Beargrass is technically a charter school. So they'll be their own thing still.
Okay.
Riverside, which used to be Jamesville and Williamston, came together to form Riverside. And then South Creek was Roanoke High School, which was merged with Beargrass back in the day. So they had 4 high schools, consolidated to 2, and now the 2 high schools will now play under one team. So students at South Creek.
Can you give me a visual presentation, a chart on this?
I can actually.
That was really impressive that you just did that.
Yeah.
So basically, 2 high schools are going to put together the one football team.
It's called a co-op or something like that. Yeah, but they'll move up division. They'll stay move up a class, but they'll stay in the same conference with Tarboro, Washington County. How can I not think of anyone else in that conference?
Yeah, you've done enough. Your brain's in overdrive right now. So, all right.
Quit making me think.
So, high school football.
That'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Coming
literally the second week of August. It's Touchdown Friday with Ryan Bailey.
Touchdown Friday, back for another year.
But, you know, Bailey's off with the Pirates so much these days on road trips, which is a great get for WNCT for him to be able to travel with the team. Half the nights I'm hosting Touchdown Friday.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
Is it?
That's Brian Bailey's baby.
A lot of shoes, big shoes to fill.
Smelly shoes.
Big old smelly cowboy boots. but man, a lot of fun, and you guys do an awesome job with it, top to bottom. And Bailey gives credit where credit is due. He really shouts out you guys that help him out with that, because it is a lot of work to put together all those highlights.
And when I don't help him out, he also lets me know.
That's 2 sides.
There was something a couple weeks ago. Hey, can you go shoot this baseball game or something? Like, yeah, I can. Man.
And when Garrett Short is like in a wedding, he's the best man. Bailey will trash him for it and not being at work. So
like Bailey got to understand the dude has friends and they're getting married. Like, okay.
Bailey's friends hadn't got married in 42. He's the only one that's gotten married in the last 50 years of his friends. All right, we're not going to roast Bailey. He's not here to take it. Ken, thanks for hanging out today, man.
Of course,
we'll talk to you again next week. Go Braves.
Go Braves.
And
beat the Mets.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. More to go. Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Back with you after this.
Here with Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. Jeff, how can you help people with service in 2023?
We continue to offer free pickup and drop off for the customers, and our customers' time is valuable. So we've added 3 additional Express Loop technicians to reduce wait time. That's our #1 goal for 2023. And please don't forget, we service all makes and models. We're voted #1 in Greenville by the customer. Come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard.
Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us, and I want to invite you to attend our CG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
The Beach Tavern Bar and Grill has been the place to be for over 50 years. BT's is the best local sports bar in the heart of Atlantic Beach. Located on West Fort Macon Road across from Pacific, BT's has daily food specials, a late night menu, cold beer, pool, darts, and live entertainment for everyone to enjoy. Make it a summer to remember at the Beach Tavern Bar and Grill. Follow BT's on Facebook and Instagram for all the daily specials and events. BT's, the place for fun in Atlantic Beach this summer.
With US Cellular, it's just $29.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Rogue Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $29.99 per line. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Happy 100th anniversary to Minji's Bottling Group. Congratulations on 100 years of refreshing Eastern North Carolina.
Pirate Radio is the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Order Jersey Mike's subs on the mobile app and get delivery right to your home, or save time and order ahead to skip the line to pick up from your nearest Jersey Mike's sub location. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. What a range of emotions for Jamie on YouTube. He said, Iron Sheik isn't dead, Clip. And he said, oh my God, I just saw the news. Why do you think are we the type of show that would say somebody's dead when they're not dead? Yes, we are, unfortunately. We do that quite a bit. But we are...
I say someone is dead to me.
You're right, yeah. A lot of folks dead to us. Chris Haymeyer. No, he's not dead. He's just banned. Who's dead to me? Oh, Corey Glore. Even though he comes on the show often. A lot of folks dead to me that I'm still friends with.
No, when I say someone's dead to me, I am done. D-U-N, done.
It's like you're seeing ghosts. They're dead to you, but you're talking to them.
They're haunting you.
I feel like watching y'all's video in Studio B is like seeing ghosts. It's like
I know. Some paranormal activity.
It's all glitchy.
Yeah,
hey, look,
paranormal
activity is my wheelhouse.
I think there's a ghost in there with you guys. Ooh. Scott said, did you hear Warren Sapp has been with the Commanders giving pointers to the D-line? I did not hear that, Scott. I'm avoiding all Commanders off-season news. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I will say D-line, Payne and Allen, that should be a top unit in the NFL. No excuses not to. Chase Young back. I mean, they should be good on the defensive side. But you know how many times I've thought they should be good and they're not? So I'm not getting my hopes up. I have zero expectations for Sam Howell. I'm just going to try to enjoy the games every week. I'm going to do my best to not get mad, not get angry, just enjoy the sport of American football and my favorite team, whatever they're going to call themselves, whatever kind of uniforms they're going to wear, whoever the owner is. I'm just going to try to enjoy it. They make it difficult for me to enjoy it every year, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. in 2023.
Welcome to being a Dolphins fan.
Whatever. The Dolphins are good.
Up until the last couple of years?
Okay, well, live in the now.
Sucketh.
Live in the now.
I'm just saying.
Sucketh.
Eric said, "Hey, Clip, I offered my elderly neighbor $20 if I could ride her stair lift. I think she's going to take me up on it."
Oh, my God. That's awful.
What?
The joke.
I didn't even get it. I thought he was just being stupid.
No.
I just got it.
Because he said, "Hey, Clip." I thought he was just having a conversation with me.
Oh, my God. That took me a minute.
"Hey, Clip, I offered my elderly neighbor $20 if I can ride on a stair lift. I think she's going to take me up on it." All right.
So here's the thing. It's actually a good joke. I've seen it in the past week or so, and I laughed at it the first time. I'm not laughing at it.
That's the first ever thing Chandler got before me and Shirley.
Yeah, because usually we get it before he does. Usually he's the one that's on the delay.
Oh, man. Yeah, I thought Eric was just being stupid to wrap up the show, saying nonsense. But nope, he was telling a dad joke. Thanks, Eric. It's pretty good.
That is a good joke, though.
Pretty.
That was pretty good.
Man, what a shocker coming out of that Mike Houston interview. He is a Breaking Benjamin fan.
Breaking news.
Breaking Benjamin news. Mike Houston, Breaking Benjamin fan.
That one kind of took me aback. I mean, Aerosmith, Motley Crue. I knew he was a Motley Crue fan.
Journey, he's a big Journey guy.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's those are bands that are in my wheelhouse as well. And then he threw out Breaking Benjamin, and I kind of leaned back. What you know about Breaking Benjamin?
What you know about that, Willie?
And he sounds confident, as all coaches do in the offseason, but I believe him, especially when he talks about I like his answer to the most improved position group DBs. He said, without much thought, he likes the length, the athleticism, likes the team speed back there. He has a belief that his offense will be able to make up for all the depleted spots on the roster. And even if he didn't believe it, he wouldn't come out and tell us. So I have to believe that he believes. But that is a ton of production to make up.
We saw some of those newcomers in that secondary in the bowl game last year with Revel and some other guys. So very excited to see those guys play an entire year and produce at that position and fill some roles, like a Malik Fleming. So should be good.
If you're going to say that, you got to say it in Coach Ellis's voice.
Malik Fleming.
Coach Ellis gone.
Gosh.
Coach Foster gone. Wait. Coach Ellis not gone. Coach on the offensive side is gone.
Scott.
Wait, short guy is gone.
Yes, Steve Ellis is gone.
Everybody's gone.
Steve Ellis is gone.
When did he leave?
Ellis?
Yeah. Because Scott...
right after the football season ended.
And Scott and Foster left, not Scott Foster the ref, but Scott and Foster left right at the beginning or during spring ball.
Yes.
So Ellis left before them. Everybody, dang.
Boyette's still here, though, right?
Yeah.
I think he got promoted to one of those... I think he's the running backs coach now.
Yeah, Raekwon Boyette.
Yeah.
A few years ago, didn't Pirate Radio report that Jim Calhoun was no longer with us? I don't know, Johnny. I was not responsible for that. I'm not taking responsibility for that.
You know who I almost killed off earlier in the year?
Who?
The Whistler from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that was going around the internets.
He is alive and well.
Did one of our guests try to kill somebody? Oh, it was Bryce tried to kill Bill Dance just yesterday.
He said, "Is Bill Dance still with us?"
We are like serial killers here. Johnny, I don't remember the Jim Calhoun thing, but I was not responsible for that. It wasn't me. Take a break.
I don't know.
Wait, are we just going to end the show?
It's too late. Yeah, you got to end the show.
Who are the sponsors coming up? We'll talk about them real quick.
Oh, man.
Who is going to be? I like doing this.
All right, hold on.
Who we got?
Country Mart.
Cheese biscuits.
Oh, my God.
Sausage dogs.
Oh, my God.
Fatback.
Oh,
Fatback
my God.
City, baby. And fill up your car with gas.
Country Mart, man. Yeah, it's a convenience store. It's gas, but their fresh food is phenomenal.
Great.
All right. Mick Ultra Seltzer.
I mean, you
delicious.
kidding me?
It's summertime. What's better than a seltzer?
And I know you're watching your weight. You want to keep that summer bod tight and nice. You also want to have a good time. Mick Ultra Seltzer.
Yep. Low calorie, low carbs, a seltzer. That equals summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Russell's.
Oh, my gosh. You need a suit. You need some nice clothes. You got a date night coming up. Graduation's coming up for high school students. You need something nice to wear for that. Russell's in downtown Washington has you covered.
Head to Washington, find a great meal, see the water, do all that, and visit our friends at Russell's.
Orthopedics East.
Oh, my shoulder hurts. I wonder who can help me.
Orthopedics East.
Orthopedics East. That simple. Go there. They'll help you out with any joint pains or anything like that.
Integrity Home Mortgage.
Oh, my gosh. You need a home loan? Hello? Hello? Do you know my guy?
Wake up!
Wake up!
McFly.
Do you know Talbot Green? Do you know his nephew Braxton Green? They can help you with any home loan that you need.
And they do it with integrity.
With integrity.
Jarvis Street Bottle Shop.
Oh, my gosh. Do you need beer for the weekend?
Yes.
Are you hosting an event?
Yes.
Oh, I need beer. But I want some good IPAs. I need a good selection of IPAs.
Love an IPA.
Jarvis Street Bottle Shop. Oh, I wonder where that's at. Jarvis Street. Go there. Get you some awesome IPAs.
Pickeryville Airport.
Do you need to fly? Are you traveling and you want to get on an airplane and you don't want to go to Raleigh or Charlotte? Here's the PSA, folks. Greenville has their own airport. What's it called?
Hello?
Pitt Greenville Airport. It's in Pitt County. It's in Greenville. Pitt Greenville Airport. Hey, by the way, that's where the Pirates fly.
And finally, Jimmy John's.
You've got, dude, they have.
Hold on. I don't have a lot of time. I got to go, but I'm hungry. What do I do?
Jimmy John's. Oh, by the way, we can walk from there, or we can walk there from here.
Are they fast?
They're Jimmy fast.
Are they freaky fast?
They're freaky fast.
What about Jimmy fast?
I don't know, but they got mini Jimmys that you can have if you're not that hungry and you just want like a small sandwich. You got to have the mini Jimmys.
That's why Chandler is the best salesman in the business right there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday on Pirate Radio Live. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 at